finished here, and I've got a pastel one done, and I'm also working on the second one. So I'll have 4 cushions because I've got both.
It's really
when I
good,
get round
isn't
to it, I'll finish it because I want them for
So
the
you've
house.
got enough here to make 2, so
Yeah.
you could change the colourways around, couldn't you?
Exactly. Or if you
the
bought
2 different ones.
both of the kits, you could mix and match them, so you could have the black and the greys with the pinks.
Oh, that's
that
true.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So if you bought both kits, you could mix and match. I'll
Swap
show you the
them over,
pastel
yeah.
one in a moment. But aren't they lovely? I just think they work. I think they work really, really well, and it's just a really nice showcase of your skills.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it's really straightforward to do. Again, it's strips and.
So it's quite a nice kit to have at home when if you're thinking, oh, I'm at some point, I'll probably make something for someone. If you've got this in your stash, this kit's the sort of thing you can go about. Well, Sunday afternoon, I'm going to make that.
Going to make that, yeah. It's
gorgeous,
such fun,
isn't it?
Yeah. It's really nice.
Now, if you prefer pastel, let me show you what the pastel one looks like.
Work in
I'll show you on the
progress. It's almost finished.
Well, it's the front, isn't it? I love the fact that you've put the mitered corners on it as well.
Yes, again, that's another skill. That
Well,
you take into something else, isn't it?
Well, it means that you can use that skill for things. I think this is so pretty. And you can choose which order you put the colours in. So you could say, well, I'll have pink on that side, or I'll have them on the tips or whatever. But it's really pretty, isn't it? So you turn it like that.
Yeah.
You can really see the
It's
hearts.
it's lovely.
It's a heart like that, and it's a flower like that.
Yeah,
isn't
absolutely, yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, could you imagine making this in a quilt?
Oh, gorgeous.
'Cause once you've got the pattern,
that's true.
basically a block.
Yeah, it is, and then you could just keep
create your own
repeating
little
those.
quilt with it.
But it's lovely because you've printed the fabric specially to go with it, so
Yes.
you can see how the tones graduate. And this is the fabric. Obviously, you'll get the full instructions in your kit, but these are the fabrics that you will get. So and again, remember, there's enough for 2. So you get the lemon fabric, and then you get a beautiful mint, a pale peach, blue, and a darker and a pink. They're really pretty, aren't they? And then you get the plain fabric, which you will need for the background as well.
You get one of them as also for the backing.
So $29.99, and that's everything that you need to make 2 of these beautiful cushions. I think it's a great value kit.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
Let's see how it's done.
Yes, I'd love to see how
It's a real straightforward.
Show me how you do it.
So again, I've got strips, and I've got them already done and ready to go, so I don't have to worry about cutting anything. So I've got a strip of 3. This is quite important how you look at this, and I've also then got a strip of 2. So I've decided which I want my top heart bit to be, which is these, and then the main heart shape, or the bulk of it, is going to be these. So you're going to cut them into little strips. So you see, look, it's like little squares. And so I've got this one for here, and let's have a look. I'm going to have the darker blue at the top there. This is going to be the bit I cut off, so that's part of it. And let's have a look. I've got some white squares. This is why I give you some white fabric. It's not a space filler. It's because what you want to do is have some sort of contrast so you can see the actual heart shape. So 2 of these. One's going to sit this side, so you can almost see the heart as it starts. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I've just cut it into strips and stitched them like we did with the Bargello. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my little squares, and this is going to sit over here, and what I want to do with it is I'm going to stitch it from here all the way down to there, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So again, I would probably use clips if you're not sort of confident in keeping out of it, but drawing it I think helps, because sometimes I'm just going to trim that bit off there. You know, you get carried away and then you end up with little squares on the wrong side. So using that friction pen, I mean, I've got loads of them.
Yeah.
And because I use different colours.
I'd go wrong otherwise. I'd have a wiggly line.
Well, just for literally a few moments doing this, honestly, it's going to save you loads of time and unpicking and things if you don't quite get there. So you can see it there. All right? So I've got those. So I'm going to go stitch those. So yeah, I'm actually going to get to the sewing machine. It's not always. There we go. That one. Now the other thing as well, you know, when you've stitched it, before you trim it, again I would always check that I've done it right, because I don't know if you're like me, sometimes you get carried away and you snip it and you think I should have done that. That's my first one. Second one coming in. These don't take long. You can get this done in an afternoon. bits.
Well, I guess because you've joined the strips together as well,
Yeah.
and you've saved half of the job.
Well, you have, and you're kind of almost batch making, because you're not doing one at a time like I am today. You'll do the strips, you'll cut them, then you'll put these on all of them, so it'll grow very quickly. So here we go. I'm just going to double check it. Like I said, look, that's going to go that way. It's going to go that way. That's what we want. Okay. So now I can come away and I can trim that edge. I can trim that edge. There we go. Ooh. Same with this one. So you're sort of giving yourself, you're just leaving yourself the seam allowance there. So you've got something to work to. And then over we come. Give that a little press. And that one there. So I have to use my best press gun out, it smelled nice. So we've got this. So then if I bring it back, what I'm going to do now is stitch this one to this bit here. So let's just put that one on there. And stitch that along. I mean, the other thing to know as well, and we mention it a lot, or you do on Sewing Street, is about keeping your seam allowance the same. So I know we worry sometimes about 1/4 inch. It seems really small, doesn't it? You think, oh my God, I'll never do it. But even if you think, well, that's too small for me, I want to do something a little bit different, please don't worry about it. As long as they're all the same,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter so much, does it? Just going to trim that there. Again, I would do this later, but so you can see. So there's my first bit. So now I've got this one that's going to sit here. So I'm going to bring in my larger square that I've pre-cut, and I'm going to stitch this one to this one. Let's just line those up. Again, clip it if you feel that you need to. It's something else to think about as well. You know, when you're making blocks, they don't always come on straight. Even if you've cut everything perfectly straight, they're not going to stay that way because fabric moves. So don't sort of look at it and think, oh, I better trim it off as I'm going. Wait, put it all together and then trim it round afterwards. As long as they all match, as long as they're all the same size. So here we go. There's 2 parts. So I'm going to put this one now, stitch it to this one. So if I turn that one over, so if I line that up, now you see my seams are going the same way. I'm just going to fold it that way. So my seams are going opposites. It's going to reduce the bulk, but it's going to help me to match that bit there. And usually I've got clips. I think what it is, I was sewing last night, you know, final finishings, and everything's on my desk. I've left everything on the kitchen table. There you go. I am organised usually.
Well, it looks very organised. You've got a lot of strips all sewn together and cut, and you look very organised.
I mean, definitely these are going to be in my house. I just got to finish. I've finished them, and I've got a 5-month-old puppy that thinks cushions are for chewing. So I'm just going to wait a little bit, just
I'll give that
until.
a press for you.
Thank you. Just until he's not at that age anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'll put them out.
When he's 1.
At the moment, he's throwing him about all over the place. Yeah, we did go for a cockapoo when people have gone.
Oh, I've got a Cocker Spaniel. They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
Just beautiful.
Yeah. Our older one's not so sure, though.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
There you go. And there's your heart shape.
Amazing.
Just lovely.
And I guess then it changes depending on where you put the colours.
It absolutely does. I mean, the one that you've got over there, see, I've got my second one here. I've made sure that I've kept them the same. But if you wanted to, you could swap them around. You could have 4 completely different ones. So I have kept this the same.
Yeah.
It's going in my house. So,
Yeah,
so I want them the same. But
exactly.
if you wanted to mix and match them, you could. You don't even have to have them this way. You could have them all facing the same way if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It depends what you want to do with it. So I'm giving you a sort of a serving suggestion.
Yes, so at the moment
decide.
this is a flat heart and that becomes a flower.
Absolutely, yeah. Whatever you want to do with it.
But you could change it around.
Yeah.
This is so pretty. It's an amazing price as well, $29.99 for all of the fabric and the instructions to make 2 cushions. And you can see they come together quite nicely. and quickly, but I
Yes.
think it's just one of those projects that's manageable.
Yeah.
That's really lovely
It
to
is.
make, and you sort of get in and think, wow, I've done
It
that.
absolutely is. If you've never done it, doing one of those, and then you suddenly think, oh my God, I did a
I've
heart.
done that.
How did that happen?
And then if you want to, you can quilt it, put some H640 behind it, you
Yep.
can quilt it, but you
Yeah.
don't have to.
No, you don't have
if
to,
that puts
no.
you off, because some people go,
I know, that's a bit frightening.
and then other people
Yeah.
go, oh, I'm going to free motion that all over.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Go for it.
that's entirely, this table keeps moving.
I know we keep moving the table.
We're going to end up in the next studio in a moment.
We're just moving
Very
along.
sorry, we'll just be in the gems studio. You're very confused. Know nothing about gems. Would you like our
We wear
patrician?
them, don't we?
Now, we have got the instructions on their own.
Yes.
I'll just move back over here. So if you want just the pattern...
We've just spread out across 2 desks, haven't we? That's what it is, really.
It's great.
Yeah.
The more desks, the better. I always think it's good, isn't it? You just, once you finish with one desk,
Yeah, just start on the other.
just move to the other. So
Half of
at
it's still at home, though, so that's the...
When I one summer I worked for Eurocamp as a courier, and we used to just go around clean, looking after the campers and cleaning the tents. And at the end of the season, when they closed the campsite down, we used to live in one tent.
Yeah.
And when we didn't want to wash up anymore, we'd move to
To another
tent.
one,
And
absolutely.
then we go out around the whole campsite.
Well, you get a different perspective, don't you, then, of where you are?
I know.
You're looking
And then
at
we
it.
suddenly thought at the end, we're going to have to clean all these tents.
I know.
I thought, wouldn't that be nice at home? So when
Yeah.
you finish with one room,
Just
one desk,
move into another.
move on to another. Oh, I
Can't be making me pleased,
still
Polly.
remember having to then the sudden realisation we had to clean all these tents. Terrible. Anyway, little aside story. If you want the instructions just on their own, £9.99. Really, really clear. Look at it all. You've got all the pictures of the fabric. So obviously, if you've bought the kit, you've got the fabric. But if you've got the instructions on your own, you can stick your own pieces of fabric on there. Look, loads and loads of full colour, step-by-step photos. So this is very, very achievable. If this is your first patchwork project, this is the one for you. Now, the kits. We'll go back to the kits. So we've got the monochrome kit. The monochrome kit will make 2 of these cushions.
Well, that's nice when you can't make your mind up, isn't it, as to what colour? But you could actually, little scraps, you don't even have to use the white. You could use the monochrome and bring a pop of colour in. Imagine
Yeah,
a bit of cake
you
in
could.
place of the white.
And look at the back of the
things like that.
cushion. Love the back, and you've got the fabric to do that. Look at the
Yeah.
back. Yeah, you could. You could have like just a little pop of colour, like a bright pink or turquoise.
Yeah, and it
orange.
would completely transform it.
Gorgeous. So that's the monochrome, only £29.99, which is a great price, isn't it? Now, if you prefer the pastel version, which
Oh, hang on, have I put it?
Have I left that
I've
with
tidied
you?
up. Hang on a second.
I know.
I've tried to anyway.
No, don't tidy up. We'll move on to another desk. You see, this is the great thing, because when I'm with the next hour, I'm with Hayley. She's on a nice, tidy desk over there. And then when we get back,
She's putting us to shame.
at the moment, I know, well, I'm just going to keep moving around in circles. And I think I'd like to do this at home, only I'm the only one who would tidy my desk. If you want to make the pastel version,
There it is.
beautiful.
But again, with a pop of black in that would look
Yeah,
quite
you
stunning,
could.
wouldn't it?
That is the full kit. So if you want to have an identical version, full instructions and all the fabrics, gorgeous. Right, now let's go back to the Bargello. No, it's really popular. I know that loads of you love it, and it's an amazing price. Over 20 if you've got it in basket. So it's at, what was it, a £60, £55 saving? About 50, yeah, 50 something, can't
Do
remember.
you know what, Rebecca? That's because we print them ourselves.
So,
We don't have a middle person.
so you can pass that saving on.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, as we know, it's going to be Good Friday, Bank Holiday Monday. So we'll be in over the weekend, John and I, my husband, printing the fabrics.
Amazing.
And so it won't go out till Tuesday, Wednesday, of course. But yeah, we actually, everything from scratch, from the original drawing to choosing the colours.
Well, and I think that's
to
lovely
printing
because it means that you get exactly
yeah,
what you
even
want.
to
So
cutting it off.
brilliant. I think
Great job.
it's a great job. So full instructions here that you can then use again. Now, you need to check out on this. We are very limited. You are saving over £55. If you want to make exactly this Bargello quilt, it's very mindful. It's very meditative. Just follow the instructions. You might look at it and go, oh, I can't do that. But just start at the beginning.
Yeah,
cut
absolutely.
the strips. We can all cut strips.
Absolutely.
Once you've done that, you're then cutting them into smaller pieces. We can all do that. And just follow it step by step. And before you know it, you will have this. And honestly, have it on your wall. It's absolutely gorgeous. Right, so a few of you have asked about this fabric here that's in the kit.
The native flower to lock
The
it
native flower fabric. Now, we do have this fabric available by ½ metre. There's more than ½ metre because this is the piece that's in the kit. But we are selling it by the ½ metre. If you want more than a ½ metre, you can, and it will be printed to order, and it will be sent to you. So it's £8.49 for ½ metre. It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's got a really lovely charcoal grey background, and then all these overlapping flowers in beautiful rainbow prints.
And those flowers, the actual colours match the fabrics perfectly, because that's where we've done it. And you'll see those flowers in with the houses as well, so it all sort of
ties in. But it's lovely because it's a really gentle, you've got that gentle grey, but with the overlap flowers on top. It's lovely. Beautiful. So please do check out on the Bargello quilt. We are getting very, very low in stock now. We can see how many we've got left. We've got more if you've got it in baskets. If you don't check out, you're going to miss out on it. Now, you're going to be back with us in an hour.
I know, yes, something a bit different.
With your menagerie of animals.
Yes, absolutely. So if you're into your animals, whether they're little critters, whether they're woodland, or a little bit sort of more exotic,
they're all on there. You've got panels, you've got fabric, all sorts.
I know.
I've got loads of you shopping ahead. It's all available on the Sewing Street website. If you just go onto sewingstreet.com and click on Watch Live, you can scroll down and get all of it there. So if you want to get ahead with the fabric, you can. Right, before we go to break, let me just talk about the notebooks. So for those of you who've just joined me or weren't here at 8 o'clock, Scott was with us for the first time. We are celebrating his birthday. It's his birthday on Sunday. Sadly, he couldn't stay with me for the whole 5 hours. He had stuff to do. But he has bought special treats throughout the day, and this was his absolute feature treat. So we started with Aqua. Now, this is the Sewing Street notebook, which should be £19.99. I'll show you why. It's beautiful, super soft, like moleskin type feel. Elastic to cover it. This is Notes from London. I've written my name in this so that I can take it home. Yours won't have that in there. But if you write the name in the notebook, it's mine as well.
One way of doing it.
Yes, one way of doing it. It's got a little place to write the date in. Beautiful lined pages. Look at the back. It's got this special envelope. Is this the colour that you wanted as well?
Mm-hmm. I've ordered it.
Oh, you've ordered it already?
Yeah. Oh. It's not that I wanted. I've been on there and I ordered it.
I love the fact
it's
got a
about.
really deep pocket.
It's a notebook with a pen. I mean, what's not to like?
And it's like it's
paper.
like a ribbon type.
Yeah.
Or edge on the pocket. It has a matching pen that's really soft that says Sewing Street on it as well.
You could draw on the cover as well, because that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, you could draw
Yeah,
the cover,
you could draw
yes.
the cover.
It has a page marker and then elastic to hold it closed. So when you filled that pocket with all the notes, you can hold it closed. That's the Aqua version. Now, brand new today, it's been made specially for Sewing Street. Scott loves notebooks, and he was very specific. It had to be high quality, and had to have all the features, all the elastic and the loops and the pen and everything. But he took £10 off, £9.99 for the notebook. Now, we have it in 2 other colours, so that's the Aqua. We also have it in this light blue, but I would say this is more of a periwinkle blue because it's definitely got a bit of purple in it.
Yeah, I
There's a
might have to
forget-me-not
buy that
blue.
one as well.
It's beautiful. It is. There's loads of you are buying all 3. They are all £9.99, but that's just for his special birthday. Then they'll go back up again. So this is the pale blue. This is what yours will look like without my name written in it. Because I'm not allowed to write my name in all 3. Lovely pen as well. And the reason I wrote in that notebook was I had to be test to make sure it did write nicely, because Scott said, but I couldn't take that as definite without trying it out. So I had to, really. That's the pale blue version, and then there's the very sophisticated navy blue. That's for your very important things. That's the one Scott's got if you want the same one as
You can
him.
still draw on it with a metallic pen.
You can draw on it, exactly. But it's beautiful quality from Notes London. But look, isn't it lovely? This isn't just any old notebook. This is a Sewing Street notebook with the envelope and the elastic. Now, loads of you are buying all three. Make great presents, don't they? Stocking fillers, little gift, thank you gift to somebody, teacher present, all that sort of thing. Buy all of them. Anyway, we'll see Sandra back here in an hour. I will see you back here after the break. Please do check out your Barge Yellow. Very, very low in stock now. And I will see you back with Hayley. And, fantastic Husqvarna embroidery machine, sewing machine, all joined together, and a special offer too. I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes.
Hi everyone, Andy here, and I'm very excited to tell you about our next Craftopia event that's taking place from Friday, May the 23rd to Sunday, May the 25th at the lovely Abbey Hotel in Redditch. 4 workshops with some of the best tutors available in the crafting world today, bringing you a little bit from all 3 of our channels. That's Hobby Maker, Jewellery Maker and Sewing Street. And what's even better, the price includes all your accommodation, all your workshops, all your meals, all your snacks and a goodie bag worth over £200. And this year, for the first time, we're excited to bring you Friday night crafting with lots of surprises in store. So your talented tutors for the weekend are Julie Peplow, introducing you to the world of card making, Carla Bagshaw, who'll be inviting you to make your own memory albums. We also have Catherine Wright, who'll be introducing you to hand sewing, and Debbie Kershaw, introducing you to the wonderful world of jewellery making. And here's the best part, you won't need to bring anything at all because everything is included. So you can join us for the entire weekend, or just part of it, or if you just want to come to the workshops, we've got ticket options for everyone. All you need to do is to visit the website and search out Craftopia, or you can email me directly, andy.love@hobbymaker.co.uk. As always, places are limited, so make sure you don't miss out and book your tickets now. And join us for the best craft weekend ever, from Friday, May the 23rd to Sunday, May the 25th. I look forward to seeing you there.
Our UK-based call centre is always on hand to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Looking for the perfect gift for the sewing enthusiast in your life? The Sewing Street gift card is just the thing. Choose between a physical card delivered to their door or a convenient e-gift sent straight to their inbox. It's easy. Just head to the Sewing Street website, scroll to the bottom of the page, click Gift Cards, or use your smartphone, scan the QR code and go straight there. Pick the amount you'd like to load onto the card, and that's it. The Sewing Street gift card, the gift of creativity made simple.
Did you know at Sewing Street that on various products we offer split pay? That means on certain items you can spread the cost over 2, 3, 4 or sometimes even 5 interest-free monthly payments. Just pay the first instalment when you purchase and you're away. So shop your way with split pay.
Here at Sewing Street, we only charge 1 P&P throughout the day. You can add as many items to your basket and check out and still only be charged once. Once you've checked out the first time and want to order again, you simply add the item to the basket and click on the Combine Order button. Remember, standard P&P is £4.95. Charges may differ for outside the UK. Or upgrade to our premium option for £6.95 on certain items. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street. A lot of people ask me, what dress size pattern should I buy, John? Because I never know. I can't answer that for you because if you go by your commercial shop bought dresses, if you go into different shops, Wallace, Marks and Spencer's, Topshop, any of those, size 14 in every single one of those shops will be a different size, depending on the designer, depending on the pattern cutter and the pattern grader. What you need to do when you're making your own clothes is don't think, oh, I buy 14 from Wallace, I'll make a size 14. What you need to do, and this is the sign of a good pattern, what they have is they have your body measurements, which are the ones that you have to go to. Now, it's sometimes a little bit depressing because you buy a 14 in a shop, and on a pattern it could say that you're an 18. Ignore that, nobody will ever see that. What you go by is your bust, waist and hip measurement on the pattern, and then if it's a good pattern, underneath it will tell you the finished size of the dress, which shows how much ease it's got. So what you can do is you can look at, say you look at this one and you say, oh, 100 bust, 82 waist, 106 hip. Obviously that's in centimeters. You think, yes, I'm going to make myself a size 16. You then look at the finished size here of the size 16, and you can see that you've got 12 centimeters ease around the bust, you've got a good amount of ease around the waist, and a lot of ease around the hip. Then what you do is you then look at the pattern, the finished size around your body, and you think, oh no, that looks like it might be too big. Then you can go down a size or up a size if you don't think it's going to be big enough. But the thing I always say is make a toile. Get yourself a bolt of calico and make a toile, and that's the way you'll make sure you buy the right size pattern.
Did you know that we can deliver to over 20 different countries worldwide, spanning 4 continents from the UK to Australia? Check out our website for the list of countries and delivery costs. Sewing Street, stitching the world together.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletter. Go to sewingstreet.com and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. Type in your email address and click the envelope. That's it. You'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Sewing Street's designer block competition is back. Use the fabric on our bespoke panel to make your very own quilt block masterpiece. 12 lucky winners will be announced on Friday the 20th of June. Each winner will receive a £100 credit to your Sewing Street account. Your block will be proudly exhibited at the Festival of Quilts 2025. Sewing Street's designer block competition.
Welcome back to Sewing Street. Hi, Hayley.
Hello, my lovely.
You've got double presenter now. Double.
Absolutely. Well, no, I know my place. I am a guest.
No,
I
it's
am,
fine.
I'm trusting
I'm going
you
down
to
the coffee
lead
shop
me.
now.
I love that. Good morning, everybody.
So you bought us back the sewing machine. Now
I have.
think you and I launched this.
I can't remember. I think we've only done 2 shows, and I think you're right. I think you did the launch show, and maybe John. Can't remember.
Yeah,
did the
I think we
second
did.
show.
Anyway, it keeps
sells
selling
out.
out.
Yeah, sells out every time.
So, what's so amazing about this machine?
Well, we've got a brand new package for you, so it's a little different to what we've seen before.
Wow.
So you've got the main machine there, which is amazing. Brilliant machine.
Sewing and
It is
embroidery.
sewing and embroidery. It's got a huge touchpad screen, as you can see there, practically as big as a large phone if you've got maybe
Well,
a
it
small
is like a
tablet.
proper big mobile phone, isn't it?
And at the moment, it's actually stitching out one of the designs that I have downloaded from the store, which I'll tell you about in a little while as well. So this is actually what we call a freestanding lace design, because within the bundle that you've literally got everything that you need to get started. So first thing is you've got your embroidery machine. You've also got it as a sewing machine because it's a combined.
Right.
But you're also, for the first time ever on Sewing Street, well, in fact, anywhere, I think, the extension table as well. Ooh. But that's not
and
where
that's
the
for
bundle
use
ends.
with the sewing machine.
With the sewing machine.
Free. This is all free.
This is all free, so this is all included within the bundle. Sadly, we don't have these available by themselves because quantity-wise, we were struggling to get hold of them. So it is a case of that you can only get it as the starter package. I am sure as time goes on, we will bring these individually.
Okay,
so
but at the
can get
moment,
them.
you can only
But
get this.
At the moment, and this has got kind of your adjustable little legs on there, so when you're working on your larger projects. This was a little godsend when I was altering bridesmaids' dresses.
Right,
You've got all
okay.
that fabric, and it really, really helps. So use that when you've got it in sewing mode. It's doing its embroidery thing
It's
at the
such a
moment.
good idea, isn't it?
Oh,
I used to have to put my ironing board.
Yes.
Because it was the only thing I could adjust
So,
at
yeah.
the end of my machine until I got one of these.
That's it. But it really does make a difference. So you're going to get that in there. In addition to that, you're going to get your stabilisers. So again,
Right.
this is in the new bundle. 3 big rolls of stabilisers. stabiliser.
So what do these rolls do?
So you've got three. You've got your tearaway, which quite often we're familiar with. It's kind of like our go-to, almost like a universal stabiliser. It's a nice, easy one to go to if you're working on things like your canvas, weight fabrics, like your denims and things like that. You would use your tearaway. Your cotton, anything that's got a little bit of weight to it, then you would use that.
So this is Husqvarna, all branded. So
It
you've
is,
got
yeah.
tearaway, 10 yards of.
Yeah.
Aqua Magic, that's the dissolvable.
That's your dissolvable one. That's the one that we've
10
got in the
yards
hoop at the
of.
moment for our freestanding lace.
10 yards of cutaway. So
yeah.
so the tearaway, that's to use with thicker fabrics.
Well, this is it, yeah. You're stabilising your fabrics. They've got a little bit more substance to them. I'll explain how I figure out which stabiliser to use for different scenarios.
Right.
But the tearaway is kind of like your universal. Lots of us who have embroidery machines use that one day in, day out. Specialised ones, you've got your wash away or your, what do they call it, sorry? The
Aqua Magic.
Aqua Magic. So have a little look at this. So this is a little bit, if I hold it like that, you can actually see the light going through the lace.
Amazing.
So that is what we call freestanding lace. So that is being held together purely by the stitches alone. Wow. When it's stitched out, it was stitched onto the stabiliser, but then we wash that away and that leaves beautiful little lacy motifs that you could be making. And there's loads and loads of different designs you can look at using out there, not only within the My Sew Net kind of library.
So this comes free.
That comes
free.
free.
Special the package, because this bundle is worth over £370.
Because you get the threads as well.
It's amazing.
Thread
So you get
chest.
the extension table,
do.
you get the 3
Stabilisers.
stabilisers, you get this box of thread.
Yeah, your gorgeous rayon threads, beautiful.
And you actually, the
embroidery.
box is not display purposes only.
No,
you
you
actually
get that.
get the box.
Get that with all those different threads in there. They're standard rayon from Madeira, if you could call them standard. What I mean is they are refillable, so you can go off and get all of these as you kind of use them. But you've got a lovely selection of rayons in a beautiful little thread chest. So
How
you,
lovely. It smells nice.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that smells lovely. I don't know what sort of wood that is. When you take the drawers out, it really
It's
smells
just, and it looks
beautiful.
beautiful as well. So yeah, and when you actually take the threads out, you will find that it's got the code of the actual colour underneath. So,
this is brilliant.
yeah.
So once you've got the machine and you'll think, oh, I'm going to do the embroidery, this is lovely.
It's
to
beautiful.
use.
Well, rayon thread is a beautiful one to use with your embroidery because it's got that lovely sheen to it.
So you're getting this for free?
You are, and you get the scissors.
Right,
and the
so we've
needles.
got the extension table,
Yeah.
3 different stabilisers, 10 yards of each, and the thread. Then, also, you get the scissors.
It's like that game you play in the car on the way to the seaside.
Yes.
I went on holiday
and I
packed.
took with me 1 extension table, 3 rolls of stabiliser, loads and loads of thread in a nice smelling box, the applique scissors.
These are brilliant. Now, let me just explain to you how they work. And this is perfect timing because the machine has actually stopped stitching out. So let me just take...
So you've set that off to go.
Yeah, so that's been stitching out. We'll actually, we'll take this off and we'll kind of take away the stabiliser in a moment. These are designed because you've got a lovely curve to them. So when it comes to actually working with your embroideries, quite often, if you're trying to trim with a standard pair of scissors, you're almost pushing the stabiliser and the fabric up so as your scissors can meet them. With these, you've kind of got that little lip, so they bend to go inside the hoop, and that means that the blade is making real contact. It's not easy to show you, but real contact with those stitches. They're brilliant if you're doing things like applique. You can use them for applique anytime.
Well, it's so
to be fair,
useful,
as well.
isn't it? Because I know when I'm sewing, and if I want to cut the thread off before I get to the end, so maybe I'm doing like a blanket stitch.
Yes,
like
yeah.
that, it's really hard, but
yeah,
I mean,
these can
scissors.
go right underneath. Yeah, they can go underneath the foot. Brilliant. As I say, starter bundle. You've got everything.
And that's all.
you
And
need.
also, it's not finished. So you get the extension table, 3 10-yard rolls of stabiliser, all the Madeira threads in a lovely smelling box, the applique threads, and sewing machine needles. So in here you get a pack of universal, a pack of quilting, a pack of denim, and a pack of embroidery. I mean, worth over £370. That's all free. So the machine is only £1,199 only, which is fabulous. It's available on 5-way split pay. We've sold out of this twice already. It's a high quality sewing machine as well as a high quality embroidery machine, all in one. So it's not that they compromise the quality on either.
Oh gosh, no. I bought the J35 previously to Sewing Street, and I have to say, for the price point, I always thought that was an amazing machine. But I have to, and it had to go some for me to think that this is better, and it is better. It's got a touchpad screen, which I'll take you around in a few moments. You don't even need to go to a computer to do any design work. You can do it on the machine itself. But equally so, you can work on your computer, on your Mac, on your laptop.
So
on your
does the
tablet if
machine
you
come
need
with
to.
hoops?
It does. Now,
And
it
what
comes with
size
2
are they? 'Cause a
hoops.
few people have asked us.
So 2 hoops. So you're going to get the one which is the 170 by 100, which is this one. Can I borrow your back for a moment?
Yes.
Now, if you wanted to go, I don't know, maybe do a bit of design work on the back of a jacket or something like that, then obviously you can do that within there, and obviously you can move it if you want to do a bigger design. So it's a good size hoop, that.
Right.
With the Jade 35, you only got 1 hoop. So that's an advantage of getting 2 hoops. Getting the smaller hoop as well. So this is the one that I've used for this smaller design. And this is quite nice if you're working on garments, if you're wanting to put kind of little motifs on things. Sometimes having a smaller hoop is useful. You can get additional hoops as time goes on, but these are 2 very, very useful ones
Right,
to
so
start
if
with.
you wanted to add to it later, you can. So
you
it will
can
come with these 2 hoops. But I always think it's nice with the machine if you think, well, it's got most of what I need, but there are other feet I could buy.
This is it. There's
there are
other
other
things.
hoops. It means it
Exactly.
can grow.
Yeah, and we might put in a bundle, I don't know, it might make it a quilting bundle, but then it's a case of that if you're not a quilter, you might not necessarily like the advantage of those. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
one of
true.
those bundles that you can add to as time goes on. This is the largest hoop that it will take, so I think that's nice as well, because quite often within a bundle, the largest hoop is the most expensive. So the fact that they've actually put that in here as well is brilliant. But you can get additional hoops. There is a smaller hoop, and there is one which is called an endless hoop. So if you're wanting to do things like long pieces of lace or things
But
like that,
those are
you can
additional
do.
things you can
They
buy.
are,
But
they're
you know,
readily
for the
available.
starting, you're going to get it home. You've got all of that thread. You've got all the stabiliser.
Absolutely.
So there's just nothing to stop
Just
you.
start creating, that's the key thing. So my design obviously is that gorgeous little piece of lace that I was telling you about. So how do we turn it from this stabiliser?
That design is in the machine as well. You
It's
haven't got to
not.
be
This
able
one
to...
I've gone to the library to
Right.
get, but I will show you this one.
But you don't have to do anything.
You don't, no. What happens is when you actually get your machine home, you will find that there is a piece of paper in there which will tell you about My SewNet. Now, My SewNet is an online kind of access area. You can access it free of charge, and you can purchase additional designs if you want to as time goes on, or you can look at a subscription. It comes with a 30-day free trial, which you can go ahead, and that's where you would get this from, because you could use that trial to get hold of it. But if it was a design that I loved, then I can actually purchase that, usually about £3, something like that, and that would be my design for life.
okay.
So it's up to you how you want to work it, but you don't have to take out a subscription if you don't want to.
So it's got plenty of designs with
Absolutely.
it for free.
Well, there's loads. I'll show you through them.
Okay,
we've
and
got
then
a folder.
if you want to, you can add to it.
Can,
Brilliant.
yeah. So I've got to show you this because I love this. So I've got a little jug of hot water here. So let me just make sure that you've got plenty.
Okay, let me
move
move
that out of the way so you can see as well. Because
So the machine has sewn that all by itself while you're chatting.
so it's been busy stitching. This is one I did earlier, actually, so I've trimmed the stabiliser down a little bit. But this, I'd probably trim it down a bit further if I was at home. But this stabiliser, when you actually put it into water, it starts to dissolve. So you'll see it will break down. And what that means, it kind of goes a bit like gooey wallpaper paste. So if you use warm water, then it does happen quicker. So you can see it starting to disintegrate there and disappear as it goes. But what happens is when you actually submerge your design in there, like so. And again, you could put this into just a hand wash on your machine if you wanted to, or just do it by hand. But what actually happens is it dissolves away the stabiliser.
That's amazing.
It's a little bit gooey at the moment. I probably want to give that a proper rinse with running water more so than in the actual jug. And then you can just either leave it flat to dry, or if you leave a little bit of the stabiliser in there, you can mould and shape it. So then you could actually do things like little fascinators and
So
stuff
Ellen
like that.
says, good morning, I have a Husqvarna combined sewing machine. The embroidery is beautifully sewn and looks very professional. Enjoying the programme. Thank you, Ellen. Do you know, because
nice
it's your reviews, isn't it? When you've got something else at home yourself,
That's it,
you
yeah.
know, you've used it, you've played with it, you've worked it all out. So thank you so much for your review. That really helps.
So there you go.
That's amazing. So you could applique that onto
You
something,
could now.
couldn't
I could
you?
actually use that maybe as a fancy button if I wanted to put a little button in there, or I've got my little corsage. I could be making a series
Christmas
of
decorations.
those. There's loads and loads and loads of different designs that you could potentially use.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a nice little project to show how you can use that stabiliser that's within the bundle to start with. The last stabiliser, the cutaway, that's one that you'd use maybe for your stretchy fabrics, your t-shirts,
Oh, okay.
your
So if you
toweling,
wanted to
things like that.
personalise like the front of a baby grow,
That's the kind of thing that
put
you
a
would
big
use.
design on the back of your denim jacket.
Yeah,
or...
well, I'd probably use the tearaway if I was doing something like a denim jacket.
Okay, and then the cutaway.
The cutaway tends to be if you've got something that's got elastic in
Right.
it.
So there's all
stops
sorts of
it moving.
clothing you can use this on.
This is a really good selection that's going to see you well on your way.
And what I like is the fact that it's branded as well.
Yes, yeah.
Because you know it's going to
They
work.
wouldn't put their names or anything.
No,
Trust,
no.
would they? So,
So how does this machine work?
So
I've got it out of the box. I've
Okay.
taken a deep breath.
Now I've put the unit on. So when you actually get it, it's, as I say, it's a dual-purpose machine. It will be a sewing machine as well as an embroidery machine. So let me just slide the unit off to start with. I might have to get to it from the other side because you need a bit of oomph to get rid of it, and I'm not at the best angle. Let me turn it round a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's because there's a clip underneath. I forgot about the clip. So you've got a little kind of clip underneath, a little spring clip. You can't quite see. It's kind of like a finger grip. So you can hear me pressing it. So you press that and that will release it so that you can slide it off the machine. Now, when it's off the machine, it will go into sewing machine mode. So you'll see on the screen here, we've got all the different sewing machine stitches.
So it turned in, it knows.
So it knows straight away it's in
Now
sewing
I'm
machine
sewing
mode.
machine.
This is when you would actually attach your extension table if you wanted to do some traditional sewing. So you would open up the legs of your extension table, like so. They're fully adjustable, so if you haven't got a nice flat surface, then that can
So
accommodate
you can
for
use
it.
it without the extension table.
That's it, yeah. You'd have your little kind of accessory box, which I've put in a safe place, never to be seen again. So that would be
Yeah, it does
to
have the normal.
I don't know what I've done with it. It's around somewhere. But
Right.
it would normally be on there. You slide that off. If you're wanting to use the extension table, then you would literally just slide this
So I
back
guess
in.
if you want to do free arm sewing, you have it like that.
Absolutely.
Store the accessories box for normal sewing.
That's it. Yeah.
And then that's...
Drop the feed
I mean,
dogs
that's
and away you
actually
go.
quite a nice size to keep on there all the time,
That's
isn't
it, yeah. And it locks in. You can alter those legs if you're wanting to, so you can kind of alter
Right.
the height. And it gives you a big area with a tape measure on there as well. So it's a lovely big open area. Let's just move that out of the way. So as you can see. So you've got your big touch screen, you've got your little stylus that comes with it as well, and you will use this to basically work your way through the different stitches to find the stitches that you need for different purposes. Now, if you're working with the different styles of stitches in here, what you can literally do is change it to a decorative stitch. So you've got these little headings along the top there, including text that you can put, and you can make your own little stitches up as well. So if you go into a design, let's find a design that I can show that you can flip. So this one here, pop that on the screen. So I've selected that design, but if I wanted the scallops to be on the other side of it, then I can very easily just flip that and it will change. So you can alter the length, you can alter the width, all the
So
usual
that's the
things.
sort of normal sewing machine
That's it.
without the embroidery bit.
Absolutely. But then when you take the extension table off or the accessory box off, and then you put the embroidery unit on, then it changes personality. It
Right.
becomes an
And it
embroidery
knows.
machine. And it knows straight away. You've
So
got
as
a
the
little
sewing
plug
machine
there.
itself, I mean, I presume it's quite a high-end one, isn't it?
To be honest, the price that you're looking at, I would expect to pay for it as as a sewing machine
Yeah.
with no embroidery.
Because it's got everything you need.
It's got
on
everything on there. Now, as soon as you put that unit on, it straight away
I love
knows
that.
I'm going to become an
Because you
embroidery
don't want to be
machine.
having to undo things
That's
and
it. That's
or
it.
fiddle around and...
Exactly. You just want it to do its thing.
Wow.
Now, you do need to change the foot. I've got the embroidery foot on at the moment. When it comes to you, it won't have that foot on. It'll have your standard sewing foot on there, but that's easy to change. And then you've got all your designs. So we have got a book with the designs in, but your designs are literally on the screen here. So you can scroll through these, just pressing the little arrow buttons, and it will show you all the different designs that you've got in here. And all of these designs will either fit in that small hoop or that large hoop. But you can also take them and combine them and make multiple designs in here if you're wanting to. So, for instance, we've got little Easter chicks and things like that in there. You've got Christmas designs in there, romantic designs in there, gorgeous kind of...
Oh, they're
there's
lovely,
loads.
aren't they?
There's loads and loads. And then when you do find a design that you like, then you will literally just click on it and bring it into the work area. So, for instance, let's go in and have a little look at... I mean, you've got all sorts of sewing
Oh, I like the sewing
paraphernalia.
ones.
Yeah, you've got little shirts in there. So it could be that you're wanting to put shirts on there
That's
or
really
whatever.
cute.
You can easily take them out.
Scissors
So
are nice.
if you like them and you want to keep them, then you
that's
can
nice.
do. Now at the moment it's set up for the smaller hoop, so all I need to do is actually go into the settings and change the hoop to the larger hoop.
Oh, okay.
And then that way I know it's going to actually fit in there. You can see it fits in there. I can alter the size if I wanted to as well. I can flip it over, I can rotate it.
Wouldn't that be nice to have it coming out of like the back pocket of something?
That's it, or a denim jacket or
So
something.
cute, isn't it?
You could have that actually stitched
Or just
out.
the pocket of a bag would look nice.
Whatever you want to use it on, absolutely. So you choose your design. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to use that design. I'm going to go back and select a different design. So you go back to the flower. So the little flower is where you've got all your different designs. And then you could choose any one of these. So let's choose that one.
So how many does it have actually in the machine?
Oh, gosh, that's a jolly good question. Now, I should know that off the top of my head, but it's left my brain for a moment.
Lots.
180.
Wow, and that's
180.
just in the machine.
And that's just in the machine. Now, say this was a design that I wanted to put on something and I wanted to personalise it. Well, I can do that. I can combine the design. So what I need to do is press this little button that we've got at the top there where it's got multiple designs on. And that means that now I can add in something else. So I could add in another flower if I wanted to.
Could you put words in
You
at the same time?
You can. Now, if I go to the little T down here, which is your text, it gives you loads of different fonts. Now, these fonts are available in different sizes when you actually click on them, and you just decide whichever one it is you want to go for. So let's go for that lovely scripted one there. So you can see that the design is now greyed out, so that's kind of in the backdrop of the design. And say I just wanted to personalise it with the letter H, because it's going to go on my sewing bag or something like that. I can literally bring that in. And I've got 3 different sizes of this particular font. Some of them have got 3 sizes, some of them have got 2. And then you can just literally drag that around.
Oh, wow.
the
So I was thinking,
screen.
I don't think I'd want the H there.
Well,
But you can actually move
you
it.
can. So you've got a little tick button, so you just confirm that you're wanting that in there, and then you can actually move that to wherever you
I
want
love
it
that.
to go.
Because then when you do that, you can go, oh, actually, I might have another initial.
That's it,
But
yeah.
when you see it, you can see what it's going to look
That's it.
like.
We've also got this kind of little keypad here, so if you want it to be in the centre of the hoop, then you can do. It can go into the top corner, it can go into the bottom corner, or you can just kind of nudge it. You can see how it's moving just by pressing it, but you can literally just move it by dragging it around.
I mean, you know, that's like, you could stitch that onto fabric, put it on a bit, that's a birthday card for someone, isn't it?
Absolutely. Or it might be that you're wanting to put it onto a garment or something like that. It's entirely up to you. So let's have a little
Quilt
look.
labels.
Yeah, there's loads you can do with this. So let's go
I like
back.
that.
Now, I'm going to go back to the design area. So let me go back to the design area. So you can see that's what it would stitch out if we wanted to stitch it out that way. But I'm going to take it away. I'm decided I don't want that. So I'm going to actually take it away, that design, go back into my, well, actually, stick with the text. Because if I wanted to put my full name on something, then I could do. So all you need to do is you go into your keypad there, and you literally will put in your name. So it could be the uppercase, so H. And then, oh, I don't think that's an H. That looks like an I. Let's go back again, doing it at a funny angle.
Yeah,
H.
you will be facing your machine when you do yours
That's
at home.
it. Lowercase, then I can put A, Y, and so on. Now, I've got it in the medium-sized text, but I might look at that and think, do you know what? I don't like it like that. I want it to be smaller, so I can literally just bring that away.
Okay.
So everything there is accessible for you to preview before you get any kind of nasty surprises. So let's go into, hey, there you go. See, it's smaller now, so A, Y. And if I don't like the actual spacing or the positioning, then I can change that around in a moment anyway. So let's
Can you? Because I was looking at that thinking, I'd want that wide down.
It's a bit wonky-donkey,
And you can
isn't
move it.
It's a bit wonky-donkey at the moment. So I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to press that as, yeah, I'm okay with that. So, and you've got things like your question marks and your numbers and all that kind of thing that you can play around with as well. So now I've got this as a design which I can kind of move around if I want to. But now I can move the individual letters. So I can kind of select each of those letters and play around with them.
That's brilliant.
And move them to where I want them to be.
So you could move them around something as well,
That's
couldn't you?
it. Well, it can actually do it for you as well, because you've got a little arc button. So I can kind of get these roughly to where I want them to go. So each time you use this little arrow to select the different letters, like so. And then when you do decide that you're wanting to put it into a shape, then you can choose to actually put it into an arc. And you can actually keep pressing that, and it will make it more arced or less arced. So
Oh,
you
that's
can
brilliant.
really play
That's
around.
really clever.
But you've not stitched a stitch.
No,
wasted
so you're
any
not
fabric.
wasting fabric. Going, I wonder what that will look like.
Exactly. So you can play around with it to your heart's content. So let's come out of that and get rid of that. I know I'm doing lots of designing and lots of dumping. So there it goes. Now, you've got the little cloud icon at the top there. So when you actually set up your My Sewnet account, you can actually go and get yourself the additional designs if you're wanting to. So, whoops. Not let me. There we
And
go.
how does it work with the account? Do you have to pay like a subscription?
Well, there's different levels. There's the free level. Now, the free level is where you purchase designs as and when you want them, and they're yours for life.
Okay,
You've
so
got
if
the
you say, right, I
subscription.
want that flower,
Yeah.
you just pay for that one.
And that could be
that's
£3 or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
and you just keep that
And
forever.
you just keep that
Okay.
forever. Then you've got different levels dependent on how much design work you're wanting to do. So it kind of goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, I think.
Right, okay.
If I remember rightly.
And then you get sort of access.
You get access all areas if you decide to go for the top of the range, but then you can kind of go for the,
Okay,
whichever
so you
choose.
can-
But you could be at the middle of the road one. You're probably looking at about £7 a month, something like that. So
Okay.
it's no more than you pay for like your delivery service or your,
Yeah, that's
your
not bad.
TV.
I guess it all
subscription.
depends. It's like with all of these things.
Horses
You start off with
prices.
going, no, I'll just have the
Yeah,
ones in
yeah.
there.
And you can do
then
that.
someone says, oh, could you just, and you go, well, I'll just look in there. And then,
Well, this is it. Well, even if you don't have the subscription, somebody came along and said, "Oh, can you embroider me? I don't know,
yes,
whatever."
you could
then
just
you can do that.
purchase
In
that
fact, we'll
one.
do that. So,
I think that's worth it. It's a bit like, you know, sometimes you buy a film on Amazon Prime and other times you rent
yeah,
it.
well, that's it. Yeah. So I've now just gone into the library. So this is now connecting with the library, the My Sewnet library, and you get a whole host of different designs in here. In fact, what quantity have we got there? I think we've got about 10,000 results at the moment, and these will kind of load on. I don't know whether they load on in the kind of the order that
And
they've
these
been
are
added.
the ones that you can either buy individually or you can have
Absolutely.
a subscription.
So there's loads in here. So throw me a subject.
Right, there's loads and loads of you've got this in your baskets. You need to check out. This is a new bundle. We've previously sold out of this machine. If you've got it in your basket, we are low in stock now. You need to check out. So I'm just warning you. Oh, we've got a question.
Oh, okay.
Can you use a USB with other designs on, and what format, please? PDF,
So-
etc. Also, has it got a jump stitch thread cutter, please?
Yes.
From Carol.
Yes. So there's all of those is pretty much yes.
Yes.
So
Yes, Carol.
let's do them in order. So format. Now PES, that will be your brother design. So it might be that you've already got another branded embroidery machine. What you actually have is the ability to convert those designs into the language that the Husqvarna Viking machine understands. So it's actually VP3s that it understands. So that's a universal one between FAF and Husqvarna Viking, so both of those you're okay. Pretty much most of the big brands, so if you've got Singer, if you've got a Brother, if you've got Benina, you can actually take them into the software, which you can access the My Sewnet software and change them. So any designs that you had previously, you won't have an issue. If you've got a PES file on a USB and you put it into the machine, then I don't think it recognises it there and then. You have to do the conversion.
Okay.
So do the conversion first and then put it in there.
Brilliant.
Or you can send it wirelessly from your laptop or your Mac or your tablet to the machine, so you don't have to put it on a USB. Yeah, you can do that.
Amazing.
But you have got a USB if you need to, so it is there.
Wow.
There's loads and loads of videos on YouTube that you can follow that will help you with that. So
I do
if
like
you
the
want to.
flexibility that you've got a lot of designs to get you started. And I think I'd start off with going, oh, I'll just buy that one extra. And then I realised, actually, do you know how many I've bought? I may as well have had that subscription.
Yes, yeah.
Before I know it, yes.
This is the thing, but it's horses for courses. It's whatever you choose. So remember, we're getting that wash away stabiliser. So it was like, well, let me have a little look what I can do with that. So I started looking for free standing. Just use freestanding because that's a phrase that's known with regards to using the wash away. So we just literally will pop in there. So I'm doing it at a funny angle, but so yeah, I'm doing it very slowly. Free S.
You can turn it around if you like.
Is that okay? Just because I'm doing
No,
it
it's
very
really
straight.
hard.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to do a touchpad from the side.
Well, you can't always see anyway, can you? Because they're
Well,
kind
the
of.
light sort of falls on it funny.
That's it. Yeah. Oh no, it's not a no. Freestand I. You are supposed to use the actual stylus more so than the your finger, because acrylic nails and things like that. Oh, I might just go in and use my finger in a second.
Sorry, I was just reading my Facebook comments.
There you go.
I was really confused by them.
I Well, that'll do, freestand. It should be able to search it from there. So what it's doing now is going to the store now to try and find it. It's probably because I haven't put standing. Yeah, it hasn't recognised that as freestanding.
What are you looking for?
Freestanding embroidery. So the design that I actually used.
Because you did the wash away
Yes,
stuff.
let me do it again. Free.
Oh, cool. Oh, and then it will tell you what they've got.
So any design that I'm looking to, it could be. I mean, you could throw me any word if you want. Tell me what. I won't look for the freestanding. Throw me a design. Somebody's come to you, Rebecca, and said, "Can you design me a strawberry?" Could it not be a shorter word?
Pea. Pea.
P. Okay.
Pea. I love peas.
P. Okay.
I don't even know if I have peas or not, because I do like them.
I love peas as well.
Can I
What about mushy peas?
I love mushy peas.
No, I don't like mushy peas.
No way.
No, I don't like mushy peas.
Honestly, my favourite.
Other peas?
And I always mix normal peas in with my mushy peas.
Okay.
And then you get a textured mushy pea.
Oh, okay, maybe that's something I should
try
try
that.
then. Maybe a halfway
Frozen
point.
peas in with mushy peas.
Fair enough, I'll give that one a go.
Oh.
So, we start off with your word, whatever it is, and then
Pea.
search.
And I'm hoping it's got
put
peas
in
in the
P. Let's
pod.
hope that it has got something. Oh, we've got 38 P related
Oh, I've got a sweet
designs.
pea.
So you've got a sweet P in there.
pear.
Now it's picked out the letters P-E-A, so
okay.
it's given me a pear
Right,
there
where's the
as
peas?
well. And then if we just scroll through, it's actually got 7 designs that we've got coming up here. So literally, let's just press on the arrow there. There we go, it's scrolling through. It is working on the internet as well, so we are a bit lead-lined
I bet
in
it's
the
really
studio.
slow
So
here,
yeah.
Look,
so you've
look,
got
see?
also
It's
pea,
got
a peas
peas in a
girl,
pod.
peas in a pod.
Pea, squash
so
and
all
tomato.
of these, because I have actually got the subscription, I can access any of these and utilise these while I've got my subscription, and it will tell you the different sizes of them and so on.
I think that was a challenge, because I wasn't convinced it was going to have peas.
Well, it has.
And it
there
had
you go.
7 pages of peas.
So there we go.
Good job it didn't go stupid question.
Not at all. I don't think that's programmed into it. But yeah, so then once you've got your design, so let's go for the peace sign. So I've got peace sign there. I'm going to
Which
click
is not
on
what I
that.
was looking for, but you know,
Yeah, but
that's
I
what
like
happens
that.
when you're on the
Well, it
internet.
could be peacock, it could be anything, but that is a design that I'm actually going to use on a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
So that's why it works. None of this has been planned, to be honest.
I think it's
The
brilliant.
jeans has been planned, but not the design. So I'm going to click on that where we've got the peace symbol. So clicking on that, and that will actually send that to my machine. So, it's a felting design, so I'm not going to do that one after all, because that's another attachment that you've got. But I know that before I tried to stitch it out. I think I probably could have stitched it out, but they kind of work on the reverse, so we'll change our mind on that one. But you can literally choose all these different designs. So let's go for a dove instead. There we go, use the dove. That's a nice design. I don't know what it came. I suppose it's pea stuff, isn't it? So,
Yeah, I know. What's that got to do with peas?
yeah. And it's a smallish design, so that's nice. So I'm going to open that design up. So that is now going to transfer over as quick as that to my hook. Quick as that to my
So
hook.
that's straight there. So although you've taken it off the internet,
Yeah.
it's straight on your machine.
Straight on my machine. So now I've got that design. So literally, it is actually, isn't it? So I can move that around. So I'm actually going to make it to fit in the smaller hoop, because we're going to stitch this out onto a pair of jeans. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. So we're going to go.
So
for the
this is
hoop.
quite a good way, because sometimes with these embroidery designs, you can't get them onto clothing because you can't get it inside. But if you do it on this wash away stuff, you can
literally
stitch them out and then hand stitch them on, can't you,
Absolutely.
to
So
hold them in place?
you can rotate your design if you're wanting to, as well, as you can see there, or you can bring it back to whatever design you want. So I kind of like where that is sitting, like so. I want another one of those though. So let's go into our design feature, and we're going to go into the area where. Click on that.
It seems quite intuitive.
It is. It is.
In
It just,
that, you know, like easy to understand that you've
Yes.
got sort of like there's a flower, that means design.
That's it,
Tea,
yeah.
that means text.
And these are universal within the Husqvarna Viking range, so it is
Okay.
literally a case you will learn how to do this as time goes on. So I can't remember where the duplicate button is on this one, but not to worry. We'll just go with one for now. So that's going to sit like so. So I'm going to stitch that out on a pair of jeans now.
So you could duplicate that and have like a row of them, flying
Exactly.
doves.
I could have peace as a word or whatever I want to do with that. There's loads of different things. The designs as well, you can actually print this off if you wanting
I
to.
see.
So those are all the designs that are on there in a larger kind of scale, so you can actually see
Do you know, I
those
think
if
I
you
might
wanted
do this
to.
because it's really nice to be able to see them, isn't
Well,
it?
it is, and it kind of gives you something that while it's actually stitching out, you can be doing something else and designing your next design.
isn't
There's
it? Isn't
loads,
that
yeah.
lovely?
And it gives you a breakdown of the different colours. You don't have to use the threads that are mentioned here. It's literally a case of that you can use the threads that you've got with the
Oh,
machine.
okay, so you
and
could go, well, I'll do
substitute
that,
them.
but I'll have purple flowers.
Absolutely, so you can do that.
Or
But
blues or
I'm
something.
going to get my jeans ready to stitch out. So if there's anything you need to do, you want
Right.
you can carry on while I just get that
Right,
organised.
the bundle. This is an amazing price because you are getting £370 worth of relevant goodies to go with it. Relevant is very important. We're not giving you stuff this is relevant stuff. These are items that you will be using and branded as well. So the first most important thing you will be, so it's the machine. It's two machines really, isn't it? It's a high-end sewing machine. It's a high-end embroidery machine. You're not compromising on quality at all by buying them dual. I know there used to be an issue with washer dryers, but it's not not like that at all.
like
But
your
there did used to
analogy.
be issues. I
There
don't know
is,
whether there
that's
still
true.
are. But you don't have that with your sewing machine embroidery, because that's something I know I initially thought of when you get things mixed together. But that doesn't happen with this. It's a fantastic quality, and you will get both. And I think for a lot of people, a lot of sewers who machine sews want to do a bit of embroidery. They don't want to have two machines, maybe you haven't got the space for them, but you're not compromising. Also, you don't want to have the complex fitting. I want to just be able to take the end of my machine off, put to an end. It also looks really simple to use. Pictures, quite like that. So I can see the pictures. So fantastic for the price. It's available on 5-way split pay. So our split pay is interest free and we don't charge you to use it. What will happen if you choose to do that and you want to spread the cost is we will take £239.80 off you today, which is less than the price of the free relevant goodies. Less than the price of what you're getting for free. The machine will then be straight out to you with all the free goodies. You haven't got to wait. And then over the next 4 months, you just pay those instalments, and then it's done. But you don't have to do that. When you check out, it's up to you how you do it. So you might have been waiting for it to come back in and you've put the money to one side, or maybe you just think, oh, I only want to pay the 200 wrong. You know, entirely up to you. So whether you order by phone or whether you want to do it on the website, you can choose then. Now, what you're going to get for free is the extension table for the sewing machine. Now, the sewing machine obviously comes with its normal storage box, but if you want to make it bigger, this isn't available on its own. You can only get this with the machine. You get 3 rolls of stabiliser, tear away, wash away and cut away, all Husqvarna branded, so you know that they're going to work with your machine. And that's really, really important. You're going to get this Madeira rayon thread in this lovely wooden box as well. And it's beautiful thread. It's shiny, it's rayon, it's something that Husqvarna recommend. And it will become a prized possession, and you can replace the colours as you go along. And I think, particularly when you've got a new sewing machine, if you use a thread that the manufacturer recommends, you know it's going to work. Because sometimes different machines like different threads, so it's quite nice to use the one that they recommend because you know it's going to be okay. You get the special applique scissors, which are perfect for trimming your threads. One that is in the embroidery hoop, but obviously you can use them for your applique. Again, Husqvarna branded. And to top it all off, a pack of sewing machine needles, and in the pack you get universal quilting, denim and embroidery. So basically, open the box, put it on your table and you're good to go for £1,199. Absolute bargain.
Absolutely, and I honestly, it's a brilliant machine. So many people have shopped for this previously and said that they've really, really enjoyed working with it. So yeah.
It's loads. If you've got it in your basket, you do need to check out. It's the first time we've had it back for a while. It's previously sold out twice. So if you want this, you need to get it checked out. And we've never done it with this bundle, which is amazing.
Nice bundle, yeah.
Well, the bundle's worth more than one of the 5-way split pays, which is madness, isn't it?
Actually, it is. It is.
Right,
So, shall we get stitching? So
yes.
Let's talk about stabiliser. Now, stabiliser is something that you always need when you're working with embroidery. And if you are new to embroidery, it's worth looking at the Husqvarna Viking YouTube channel, because they've got kind of, I think it's a 5-class course. You don't have to complete a course, but it's educational, and it teaches you all about using different threads and different stabilisers.
Oh, brilliant. Is that free?
As well. Free, just go onto their YouTube.
Oh, wow. So once you get your machine, if you're a bit nervous about it, follow the course.
Absolutely.
What a great
If you
idea.
follow me on Facebook, the link is somewhere on my my Facebook page. But if you get stuck, just message me and I can send you the link across. But my rule of thumb with stabiliser, now this is a bit of a strange one, so stick with me. It'll all become revealed at the end. Think of your stabiliser and your fabric combination coming to the sum of 10. Okay, so if you've got a heavyweight fabric, then that might be a 7 because it's a heavy weight. So that means your stabiliser needs to be a lighter weight, a 3.
Oh,
So the two combined will become a 10.
got it.
If you've got a very light fabric, say like an organza, then that would be a 3. So you need a heavier weight stabiliser to keep it stable.
Got
that
it.
makes sense?
Yes,
so that's kind of you.
Yeah, I never realised that.
Where you
I thought
gain
it
on
went round.
one, you kind of lose on the other.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances out.
that makes
so,
sense.
yeah. I said to stick with me and it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes absolute sense. I never thought
So
about
I'm
that.
working with the tearaway stabiliser that we get within the bundle, and I've got a pair of jeans here. So this could be, even if you're not a dressmaker, you might be a quilter, and you like the idea of embroidery on clothing, but you don't want to make clothing. Well, this is a pair of jeans that I picked up from a charity shop, and what I've done is I've just unpicked the side seam to open up the area so as I can embroider on it. And these jeans will probably get embroideries added to them over time.
Then you can sew them up again.
Sew them back up.
Strut down the
Yeah,
street.
absolutely. So I've got the smaller hoop that I'm working with again here, but depends on the size of your design as to which you work with. So your stabiliser will go down first, as that always sits at the back of your
So
fabric.
which stabiliser you
This one is the tearaway.
Right, okay.
And I'm only using a small piece, so you could actually get away with a much smaller piece than that if you needed to. But don't scrimp on it. Sometimes you think, oh, well, it's going to be a
And remember,
waste
that
to throw
comes
away.
free with your machine. I'm
does.
loving that.
Now, you have got a little screw attachment on the side here, so because we're working with a thicker fabric, I'm just going to loosen that off a little bit, and then what will happen is the hoop will sit inside that frame, that outer frame. So you kind of have to kind of juggle and push it in. Might have to be that you have to loosen it off a little bit more, because as I say, it's quite a thick fabric that I'm working with on this occasion. So I'm just going to loosen that off a little bit more, and you kind of wrestle it into place. That's the only way that I can describe it.
Well, it's like, you know,
There
when
we
you put
go.
embroidery in a hoop, or if you've got a thicker fabric,
Yeah,
and you press
that's
one
it.
side, it pops up
Pops
the
up the
other one,
other.
and then eventually
Eventually you get it in
you go,
there.
hey!
So once it's in there, you just tighten that up like so, and that means that's nice and taut. You almost want it to be like the skin on a drum.
Okay.
There you go. Not a skin on a rice pudding, the skin on a drum. And then we're
love
going to
the
pop
skin
that.
on a rice pudding.
It is the best bit, isn't
It's
it?
really nice.
Or custard.
Haven't had one of those for ages.
So I'm going to attach it to the embroidery unit. So before I do that, let me just show you where it attaches in, which is on the arm here. So it's a little bit over to the side, and you've got it here. Now you've got this little clip here. So the idea is that your hoop is going to go into that little channel that you've got there, and it will lock in place with this little clip that we've got there. So when I actually bring the fabric, you don't see an awful lot, unfortunately, but let me try and do it to the best. So I'm going to bring the hoop in now. So there you go. You've got that piece that's going to sit within the channel. So again, I'm doing this at a bit of a weird and wonky situation. You need to pass the fabric underneath the machine as well, so that will come underneath. It's a bit like rubbing your head and patting your tummy at the same time. So just going to slide that under there like so. Get the hoop. I'm doing this from the back. You can raise the foot up a little bit further and get that over. I'm going to do it from this angle actually, because the needle. There we go. Bring that in.
You would never ever.
I'm going to turn. Can I
think
turn
you
it
need to
round?
turn
I
it
need
round.
to
I
turn
think
it around. It's
Put something like this in
It's
from the
very
side.
caggy-handed doing it, but it's much easier when you're at home. And if you want to feed it from the back or the front, you can do it whichever way you need. But if you do need to raise the foot up, you can just push it a little bit higher up. And then what happens is that clip on the side will slide through the channel, and then it will clip into that grey button, and it locks in place. So now my hoop is in position, and I've got
And
my
it has
design.
the extra high lift, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Which is fab. And it
That's
holds
it.
into place. Some sewing machines have the extra high, but it doesn't hold.
Oh,
Quite
okay.
annoying.
Oh, I didn't realise that. There you go.
Not that I've used many sewing machines, or I have hundreds.
Don't we all? They all have friends, don't they? So we're ready to start stitching out. Now, I don't know if we'll manage to complete this design in the time that we've got left, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to press the go button, which is the tick here, and then what it will do is it will get it into position. So now it's showing me the design position in the centre of the hoop. If I wanted to move that around, I could do. It's also showing me that it's two different colours that we've got here. So we've got the one is very much lighter than the other. You can't really see the two different colours, but that
Right,
one's slightly
okay.
darker. What I'm actually going to do, I'll do it all in the same. Just do it all in the same for time-wise.
So if
you
you
could change
have
the
got,
thread.
some of these big designs you had like leaves and flowers.
Yes.
You just change the top thread.
Absolutely,
What
yeah.
about the bottom thread?
Bobbin thread, you can. It depends. People have different thinkings on these. I tend to use a Madeira bobbin fill for most of my embroideries. If you've got something like the freestanding lace, you might see it from the front and the back. So you might want to use the same thread on
Right,
the top
but with
as and on
something
the
like
bottom
this,
as
even
well.
though you're changing the top thread to like green and pink and
Yes,
whatever,
yeah.
you can keep your bobbin the same.
You can, yes, yeah. Keep the bobbin the same
And a
throughout,
bobbin
yeah.
fill.
A bobbin fill, yeah.
Right, okay.
And I tend to work with a grey, because grey's a nice kind of universal
okay.
colour. My needle's
So I guess
thread
so,
is,
because you haven't got to change the bobbin thread each time, it's easy enough to change the top thread without moving.
Absolutely. Well, this is it. You just literally, it will tell you on this scenario the thread it hasn't passed through the needle, so I probably cut it a little bit short when I was pulling the other piece away. Got needle thread.
Congratulations to everyone who's checked out. When everyone checks out, we are now on single figures.
Wow. Okay.
This is an amazing offer. It's such a good machine.
Absolutely. It's a lovely machine, as I said. It's one of those ones that I've been really, really impressed with, because it's just really easy to find your way around it, and yeah, to kind of
Oh, and it's
create
got an
with it.
automatic needle
It's got an
threader.
automatic needle threader, which is misbehaving at this moment in time. So let me
You're
just.
trying to thread it from,
Oh, it's always the way, isn't
from the
it?
side,
Yeah.
which is
I
really
think I
useful
might
for
have,
us,
I
but not
might
very
have
useful for
bashed
you.
the needle as I was putting it through. So let's have a quick look, see if that's passing through. I think it is. There we go. Where's the hook? And also, as well, I don't think I've got the wrong glasses on as well. I'm just going to thread it through. So just talk amongst yourself for a second.
Just while you thread it. So you can change the colours, and I think, and the machine tells you when to change colour.
It does. It gives you the order of the colours. They're the suggested colours, so it's not that you have to use those colours.
No,
so
but it'll tell you when to
them if you
change to a
wanted
different one.
Yeah, it just stops, and you can also track it on the app as well. So if you are downstairs while it's stitching out a large area, you know on your phone
Okay.
that, yeah, literally
So when
where
you're
you've got
out
to.
down the pub and your machine is making
Yeah.
dubs, you'll know when it's finished.
Well, I wouldn't suggest you leave it to get on with it, really. But funny story, when I worked as a sales educator in a former life for Husqvarna Viking, I used to travel around the country to the different sewing machine shops and teach them how to use the machines. And we had a Wi-Fi enabled machine that I'd set up with my own account. And then when I was driving back down from Sheffield on the M6, my phone kept pinging. I was like, what on earth is that? It's going mad. Every time I looked at it, they must have been stitching out back up in Sheffield, because it kept saying onto my phone, change thread, change thread. So yeah, I was glad to get home and kind of take it off.
Can you change the thread, please? It's
That's
really
it,
annoying me.
yeah. Now, it's stitching out the design. You will find that it speeds up and it slows down as it's working, because that's the nature of it. Sometimes the more complicated areas, it will do a slower
Okay.
stitch out. Sometimes it'll be
And
a
what
little
about
bit
top
speedier.
thread? Because you've got that lovely rayon. Can
Yeah.
you use a normal thread?
You can, yeah, you can. It just totally decide which colour thread
you
you
need
want.
to change the thread.
So I need to change the thread, but because of time-wise, I'm just going to continue. So just carry on with the same thread. So off it goes again, and it will be stitching out. Now, I've got the app enabled on my tablet, so I'll just show you what you can do. So when you've actually got the tablet, you can access...
And we'll just move these.
Oh, there you go, sorry. You can access, and there's a few different bits and pieces that you can do on the tablet. So if we go into embroidery, I can literally monitor the machine as it is stitching out. So I select my machine, it will tell me whereabouts it is in the design. It'll tell me which of the threads it's stitching out, it'll tell me how many stitches are left, it'll tell me what percentage of the design has been completed already.
I love that.
So I could literally go and make a cup of tea, cup of coffee.
Yeah, and you know.
And disappear, and I can come back.
Yeah, because if you knew, like, if you got back and you should have changed the thread, like...
Absolutely, it will let you know. You can also create QR codes. So if you've got a website and you're creating things, then you can create a QR code to find your website and actually embroider that onto a project if you want to.
Amazing.
It's like
I
taking
want to
quilt labels
embroider
to the
a
next-
QR code. How cool is that?
Isn't that fabulous? I wanted to do a QR code quilt that when you scanned it, it had a message, but it may come one day, who knows?
One day.
I don't know if it's that kind of thing that...
What a
people
great
are into.
idea, though.
You've also got the ability to do photo stitch. Now, photo stitch is a bit hit and miss, I'll be honest with it.
Okay, what does it...
Because what can happen is when you take a photo of somebody, you can end up, and it looks a little bit demonic. So, yeah, it doesn't always work.
But worth it for the
brilliantly.
fun.
But let's just try a picture, just, yeah.
Oh,
And if you are
I
watching,
think...
John, he actually planted about a dozen of these in my sample box before I arrived today, so cheeky thing that he is.
Oh.
So you can come in and you can literally take a photo and look at your photo.
No, that's
it will
amazing. We've so got to do it.
Now, it does depend on the quality of the image with regards to the actual software that's on the tablet. So if you actually take the photo, and you can use a photo that you've already got in your stash, it will change it to a stitch-out design. So this is what they call a scatter stitch, and it does depend on the kind of the contrast between the light and dark of your photo as to how well it works. So you might need to kind of play around with it in some digital software. So it's not always brilliant, but an artistic style.
And you can also download one, so you don't have to. Okay.
And also as well, animals work
got
better.
Quite a shadow across
you need a contrast between the light and dark for that to work well. But it's one of those things that you can play around with. You can access the library as well, which we were showing earlier on. You've got quilt design opportunities as well here. So if you're wanting to create your own quilt, you've got your design software in here. So
wow! Even though this is a sewing machine, it's for embroidery stitches. You can also
You've got
design
all
a quilt.
sorts in here. So you can go to the website. It will teach you how to use the app to design it. So yeah, there's absolutely loads within the.
And that's actually designing a quilt.
Yeah, and it will tell you how much fabric you need, how many pieces, the sizes.
I know, because I have one of the quilted patchwork, and they are very expensive.
They are, and I don't always get on with it that well. I get very confused.
No, we have a love-hate relationship, me and it.
It's brilliant when it's working, but not always brilliant.
But when you go, why can't I? But
just do what I want.
So you get almost like free design your own quilt software.
Absolutely.
I think that's fantastic.
There's loads, and if you sign in, you can actually find all sorts of like little classes and tutorials. So this looks like a little mini Stuart.
It does, doesn't it?
So these little projects, so Michael, fabulous designer from the Husqvarna Viking. So here, this is actually a design that you can do in the hoop. So it's in the hoop ragdoll. Sometimes they're free downloads that you will get.
Oh my goodness.
So this will actually stitch out the design for you. So yeah, it stitches out and you literally will cut it away. You'll cut away the fabric, the excess fabric with the scissors.
And then you can make a whole ragdoll.
And you could make your own little Stuart Hilliard. It looks like him, doesn't it? But there's loads in there. So you really, I mean, this is...
With a button-up shirt.
Absolutely, yeah, there's loads. So on my Sew Note, you're going to really kind of grow and learn more about kind of how to work with different elements of my Sew Note as well. So you're not left on your own at all. And if
there's more people who've got this machine in their baskets than we've got available. You all obviously all want to make that ragdoll with the button-up shirt.
You want your own little Stuart Hilliard.
And doing a picture of John.
Now, the designer's finished.
It's a nice photo.
It is a lovely photo, isn't it? The designer's finished, and it would tell me that on the app or on my phone if I'd gone onto my phone. But I've got the design there, so let's bring it off. I've done it all in one colour just because it was easier.
Although you have got a variegated.
But I've put a variegated in there. So the design itself, it would usually have the wings in one colour.
Yeah.
And the
looks nice in the variegated,
though. In the variegated. And then all you would do is you would unscrew the hoop, take your design out, and there you go. You would stitch the jeans back up. I'd probably be a bit more creative with what we've got there.
Oh, I'd have them flying.
You'd have all sorts.
Like all the way round.
Yeah, play around.
More is more.
There you go. Or it could be one of the bigger designs, because obviously with the bigger hoop, you could put something in that's a larger design. Where's my bigger hoop? There you go. So it could be that I've kind of created a design on the actual machine itself and stitched everything.
And like you
out.
say, if you don't want to sign up to the whole thing, you could just use the free ones or go, well, I'll just pay the £3 for that. And then once you've done that 3 times, you realise you should have bought a subscription.
Well, yeah.
But it's, you know, I think it's great to have the option. You don't really, I wouldn't want to get this thinking, well, I can only use it if I then sign up for like £10 a month.
Not at all.
Because that's like, well, I thought of that.
It's an ongoing thing. No, you don't have to. You don't have to have it at all, no.
But it's nice to have that option.
Yeah, and you can dip in and dip out. So if you do need to have an embroidery of a pea, then you can go and fetch that.
Yes. That is true, which I would, actually. How nice would that look on napkins?
That's it.
And Christmas as well. I mean, the Christmas decorations, napkin rings.
Yeah, there's loads and loads.
Jewellery.
You, honestly, your hours are just going to disappear. You're not going to get any of your household chores done. You can forget
family event. I mean, like babies, you know, and it's someone new baby, you just put their name on a baby grower. It's amazing, isn't it?
And of course, it could be a small business. It could be something that you started. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you see all the time, don't you? People sell these personalised,
little
and like the
sprinkles,
price
yeah.
triples because it's got a name on it.
Yeah, and it shows you there you don't have to make the item from scratch. If I was doing something like a garment, so say I was working on like a garment that's got a yoke on the back of it. So this is for the jacket. So here I have got a piece of fabric, and I think you can just about make the outline. So what I did was I traced around the pattern piece and positioned my embroidery, so that will go on the back of it.
Was that one in it?
That was actually from the Jade 35. So that's
Okay.
that design. I don't know whether it's in this machine. To be fair, it might be.
So you trace
this
the
one
pattern.
certainly is.
Trace the pattern on, and then
Yeah, so this is basically, I was like, oh, I like this design.
I'm
this little
liking
paisley
that.
design. So this is one of the inbuilt designs, and it's a single paisley piece. But what I actually did on the machine was incorporated two, and I kind of did a yin and yang.
And this is how you. This is where you change the colours of
That's
threads.
it,
I mean,
yeah.
it looks great.
Yeah.
I love. This is my favourite.
And then
thing,
I've just
though.
made a fabric piece that I could turn into a bag piece, or it could be that I've traced a bag piece out and I'm stitching it onto the
Or you
fabric.
could like draw the pocket on, sew that, and then sew that onto something.
Exactly, yeah. There's
That's
loads of
genius.
scope.
Genius.
Yeah, you just won't get anything else done.
There's a lot of mileage, and we haven't even talked about the sewing machine itself.
Yeah.
We've only talked about the embroidery machine.
Yeah.
But Hayley will be back with us at 12 with an overlocker, but we will go back over this a bit because I think it would be really worth. I'd like to know more about if I was buying it.
Yeah, not a
What does the
problem at all.
sewing machine done? 'Cause we're very fussy about these
Yeah,
things.
so we can go in and have a little look at that. And obviously the previous shows that we've had 2 shows with this one already. They'll be up on YouTube, so if you do want to go and look at those, you can.
Right, but just to warn you about stock, we have got more, way more of you who've got it in your basket than we've actually got in stock. We are going to go through it again at 12 because I'd like to know a little bit more about I'm sold on the embroidery machine, totally sold, obviously, as you can tell. But I'd like to know a bit more about the sewing machine. We're also going to be talking about the Overlocker, which again has very special gift with its Anna Scott birthday deal. So we'll see you back in now. Thank you so much.
See you in a little while.
Oh yes, talking about Scott's birthday notebooks. Da, da, da.
I like these.
Have you got one yet? So these have been made specially for Sewing Street. They're really amazing quality as well, because Scott's a little bit fussy about his notebook. They weren't allowed to be just any old sort of cheap notebooks. They had to be expensive quality. Let me just move your jeans over. They had to be quality. So they've got that really nice, nice feel.
They've got a lovely look to it. Oh gosh, yeah.
Like a moly.
That's almost like in Boston there. Beautiful,
isn't it? And then when you open it up, oh, this one belongs to me, look. Notes London. And it's got spatial places for the dates. It's a really good quality one. It has a ribbon. There's a page marker.
Nice.
In aqua. And then it has, I love this.
Oh, I like the pocket.
I know.
That's useful, isn't it? You can put all your John Scott paraphernalia.
Oh, well,
in
I'll put that. You can't keep that in my
There you go.
pocket, but it's got quite a deep, gussety pocket as well. What are your notes in that?
Is there fabric down the side of the
Well, I
pocket?
thought, does that look like a bit like a satiny
It does look like
ribbon?
a satin, yes.
It is,
Gosh,
isn't
they
it? It's
are
not
well
just
made.
paper,
yeah.
is it? Hannah's saying, why are you obsessed with the pocket? Because it's a good pocket.
It's a good pocket. Pocket's
And
stuff.
matching pen with Sewing Street on it.
Nice.
Brand new today, and it also has elastic to hold it together.
Nice. Like it.
Now, this is your favourite one.
I like the
So
colour,
we
yeah.
need to write your name in
Oh, and
it.
is that it?
Because
Oh,
once
is
your
that how
name's
it
in
works?
Unfortunately, we can't send them back to the warehouse.
Fair enough, then. I'm going to just put Hayley in there, then. There you go.
So don't forget. But when we finished...
Well, I'm here right the way to the end of the day.
Well, there you are, then.
How
So-
convenient.
Right, so we now have to show you things. So it's kind of like a forget-me-not blue, isn't it?
It is, and this, the reason you said periwinkle is that's the colour of my bridesmaids' dresses. So
Is it?
That's, yeah, a very
I
different
love that
colour.
blue because I think it suits loads of different skin tones.
Maybe I can
doesn't it?
change the kind of protocol and have them walking down the aisle with their little
Yeah.
notebooks rather than bouquets.
Well, Scott said he had quite a few upstairs, so you could go upstairs and pinch some.
Put a little
Bridesmaids'
corsage
presents.
on them. There you go.
Bridesmaids' presents. And you just write their name in. It'd be amazing. Or you could do an embroidered notebook cover.
You can do a cover. That's a nice
That's
idea.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful colour blue pen with the blue elastic.
Very pretty.
And then for very serious notes, for
Oh.
sophisticated notes.
This is for board meetings.
Board meetings, yes. Or men, or very sensible, sophisticated financial notes.
I love the way you deepened your voice.
Men, yes.
More authority.
It's just them, isn't it? And then and notebooks. But beautiful. Navy as well. Or just if
Classy.
you fancy navy.
Yeah.
I just think if you go into a meeting with one of these, with your pen and everything, you'll look organised.
You look like you mean business.
Even if you've just got a few little bits of nothingness.
You play noughts and crosses or doodle in it.
Yeah, but people will think you're important. They're all $9.99 each, reduced from $19.99 for Scott's birthday. So you need to check out this machine. It's so popular. We have got way more of you got it in baskets, and I'm not surprised at all. It is a fabulous machine.
It is a considered purchase, but rest assured, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here, obviously, at Sewing Street and over at Hobby Maker as well. You can find me on Facebook. So if there's any questions or any support you need as time goes forward, then I'm more than happy to help.
Well, because there is sometimes other things you think, I don't know, how am I being dim but?
Yeah, just ask
It's my favourite question.
It isn't a silly question at all. So, yeah, by all means, just message me if you need to.
And I always think if you've asked a question, I bet everyone else is thinking it anyway.
Absolutely.
That's my favourite one. Am I being dim? But so you can always ask Hayley any questions about it. Right. We'll see you in an hour.
You will indeed.
And then I will be back with you in a few minutes' time with Sandra, who from Santangle, who's got even more gorgeous fabrics and patterns and designs, both instructions only and kits. I'll see you back here in a few minutes' time.
Hi everyone, Andy here, and I'm very excited to tell you about our next Craftopia event that's taking place from Friday, May the 23rd to Sunday, May the 25th at the lovely Abbey Hotel in Redditch. 4 workshops with some of the best tutors available in the crafting world today, bringing you a little bit from all 3 of our channels. That's Hobby Maker, Jewellery Maker and Sewing Street. And what's even better, the price includes all your accommodation, all your workshops, all your meals, all your snacks and a goodie bag worth over £200. And this year, for the first time, we're excited to bring you Friday night crafting with lots of surprises in store. So your talented tutors for the weekend are Julie Peplow, introducing you to the world of card making, Carla Bagshaw, who'll be inviting you to make your own memory albums. We also have Catherine Wright, who'll be introducing you to hand sewing, and Debbie Kershaw, introducing you to the wonderful world of jewellery making. And here's the best part, you won't need to bring anything at all because everything is included. So you can join us for the entire weekend, or just part of it. Or if you just want to come to the workshops, we've got ticket options for everyone. All you need to do is to visit the website and search out Craftopia. Or you can email me directly, andy.love@hobbymaker.co.uk. As always, places are limited, so make sure you don't miss out and book your tickets now. And join us for the best craft weekend ever, from Friday, May the 23rd to Sunday, May the 25th. I look forward to seeing you there.
Our UK-based call centre is always on hand to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Looking for the perfect gift for the sewing enthusiast in your life? The Sewing Street gift card is just the thing. Choose between a physical card delivered to their door or a convenient e-gift sent straight to their inbox. It's easy. Just head to the Sewing Street website, scroll to the bottom of the page, click Gift Cards, or use your smartphone, scan the QR code and go straight there. Pick the amount you'd like to load onto the card, and that's it. The Sewing Street gift card, the gift of creativity made simple.
Did you know at Sewing Street that on various products we offer split pay? That means on certain items you can spread the cost over 2, 3, 4 or sometimes even 5 interest-free monthly payments. Just pay the first instalment when you purchase and you're away. So shop your way with split pay.
Shopping with Sewing Street couldn't be easier. You can shop via our website at www.sewingstreet.com, where you can watch our live shows and see all the products from that day. We also have a huge amount of products on our website, from your sewing room essentials to fabrics, sewing machines and much more. You can download and shop on the go with our Sewing Street app. Simply head over to your app store and search Sewing Street. Alternatively, you can contact our UK-based call centre 24 hours a day on 0800 001 4433. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the Sewing Street app. Head over to your App Store now and search Sewing Street and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured in today's show. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see today's bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click the schedule button and you can go back 7 days to watch and shop, and you can also see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with all the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking here for our social media pages. Never miss a show by watching on the go with Sewing Street.
Here at Sewing Street, we only charge one P&P throughout the day. You can add as many items to your basket and check out and still only be charged once. Once you've checked out the first time and want to order again, you simply add the item to the basket and click on the Combine Order button. Remember, standard P&P is £4.95. Charges may differ for outside the UK. Or upgrade to our premium option for £6.95 on certain items. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street. A lot of people ask me, what dress size pattern should I buy, John? Because I never know. I can't answer that for you because if you go by your commercial shop bought dresses, if you go into different shops, Wallace, Marks and Spencer's, Topshop, any of those, size 14 in every single one of those shops will be a different size, depending on the designer, depending on the pattern cutter and the pattern grader. What you need to do when you're making your own clothes is don't think, oh, I buy 14 from Wallace, I'll make a size 14. What you need to do, and this is the sign of a good pattern, what they have is they have your body measurements, which are the ones that you have to go to. Now, it's sometimes a little bit depressing because you buy a 14 in a shop, and on a pattern, it could say that you're an 18. Ignore that. Nobody will ever see that. What you go by is your bust, waist and hip measurement on the pattern, and then if it's a good pattern, underneath it it will tell you the finished size of the dress, which shows how much ease it's got. So what you can do is you can look at, say you look at this one and you say, oh, 100 bust, 82 waist, 106 hip. Obviously that's in centimeters. You think, yes, I'm going to make myself a size 16. You then look at the finished size here of the size 16, and you can see that you've got 12 centimeters ease around the bust, you've got a good amount of ease around the waist and a lot of ease around the hip. Then what you do is you then look at the pattern, the finished size around your body, and you think, oh no, that looks like it might be too big. Then you can go down a size or up a size if you don't think it's going to be big enough. But the thing I always say is make a toile. Get yourself a bolt of calico and make a toile, and that's the way you'll make sure you buy the right size pattern.
Did you know that we can deliver to over 20 different countries worldwide, spanning 4 continents from the UK to Australia? Check out our website for the list of countries and delivery costs. Sewing Street, stitching the world together.
Welcome back to Sewing Street, and I've got Sandra back with me.
I know, it's exciting.
So we've got even more lovely fabric with us.
Yes, I like to bring a little bit of difference.
We've got gorgeous,
Yeah.
gorgeous. Don't even know where to start. So I think we'll start with animals because
Yes.
there's so many different things. Now, this is a new. I'm just gonna leave this bag. Oh,
It's all right. No,
it's now fallen on the floor.
Can't get the
Sorry,
staff.
Michael. Do you know, you need this lovely display for me.
yeah, I done well. It does stand up.
Yes, we will sort it out. Now, this is brand new from you.
It is, yes.
And this is a bundle.
Nobody's seen it yet. Nobody.
Oh,
this
well.
is the first time you've seen it.
Da, 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 da.
I know.
Now, we have got all of the different parts of this bundle available separately. But if you were going to buy them separately, they cost more. In fact, you would pay 49, so almost £10 more if you were to buy them separately. So we're selling them to you in the bundle with a £10 discount. So we'll start with the panel.
Yes, let's start with the panel.
So this is
Yeah.
brand new.
Brand new, absolutely, yes. All my own drawings.
Okay, it's a big panel, isn't it? So we get, well, they're different sizes. I was going to say we get 4 big. But
They
they're
are,
actually
yeah. I
slightly
mean,
different
it's a
sizes.
case of that's how I drew them.
Okay. It's just
So
like that.
I've tried to make it as quilt friendly as possible, or
Right,
cushion
I'll leave
friendly.
that.
So you've got 4 of these lovely squares. I've given you space around it, so you can actually do your seams, so you're not going to lose any of the piece of artwork.
Okay.
Then, of course, your giraffe. I couldn't make your giraffe square because he's not.
No, so we've got
So-
a giraffe, an elephant, a chameleon.
Yeah, look at that. How cute is that?
So cute.
But then you've got
And a frog.
lovely, yeah, you've got another elephant there. I was going to say giraffe. Another elephant there, which is more savannah based. Then you've got some little woodland creatures kicking in. So remember that little sugar mouse?
Oh, the sugar mouse.
Yeah, the hedgehog. You've got the raccoon. You've got little fly, a little bunny. So these again, all little squares, as square as I could make them, and I've given you space in between.
So they're about 4 inches
About
square.
that, yeah.
I love the snail.
He's divine, isn't he?
Look,
He
and we've
looks-
got an Indian elephant. The snail is beautiful. Look at his eyes.
I know, he's kind of sort of, not
He's
sad,
bit
but
sad.
he's like, yeah, looking up as if to say, don't disturb me, what you
I
doing?
know, I think he's actually a bit sleepy.
Yeah, maybe so. You know, he's coming out with all those flowers.
And then a bee,
Then you've got a bee, a little ant.
a little ant.
Look,
And then you've got a big Indian elephant.
Yes, he's beautiful, isn't he? And this, you'll see this in the print coming up.
Oh, okay, so all of these swirls.
Yes, it all matches in.
And then
look at this.
Is it a parrot or a toucan?
It's a toucan.
A toucan, not very good
Yeah,
with birds
it's a
or
toucan.
flowers.
Now, we did actually, this was done on Papercraft as a masterclass how to draw it.
Oh, really?
So if you want to draw any of these animals,
Wow.
that's available over on our sister channel.
How to draw
How
that?
to draw that and colour it. So you could
Yeah,
reproduce
I'm
that.
not sure I'd
as
be able
I
to draw
say.
that.
You could do it. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, we have a lot of people
I think I'd just buy
using the stencils. So
So
the
this
nice
is
thing is
the-
you can mix and match, can't
So
you?
this panel is in the bundle.
Yes.
Then we've also got
Yes, I'll move that out of the way.
this fabric,
I know. Well, I couldn't resist.
which is like a repeat of all of them.
Yes, this is our little swatch. So it means
So
that
this
you can
is
mix
this one
in.
is also available separately, but by the half metre. this
Yes.
one. Okay. But this is like a repeat pattern.
It is. So
Of
what we-
all of
yeah.
them.
So what I've done with this, I've taken all the different little creatures and created what we call a swatch, and then that swatch is repeatable, so we can print as many. Or as
Oh,
many as
okay.
we
Oh, I
like.
think that's lovely, isn't it?
So it's a slightly different way of printing than we do with the panel. The panel's one whole swatch, if you know what I mean.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas this is a section, and then we can repeat it. So yeah, they're all different ways as well. I don't like always having one-way fabric.
No, I know. Well, I think the problem, it can be a problematic thing.
Yeah,
Fabric in one
yeah.
direction.
So
I love a
it's
multi-direction because you don't have to think too hard,
No,
do you?
exactly.
But it can be problematic.
I do
but at
think
least
these things.
with this one, you go, oh no, my elephant's upside down. It's fine. My giraffe's the right way up.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter. It's all over the place.
So this is a half-metre piece.
Yeah, but if you wanted a 4 metre, we would actually run you a
That's
4
in,
metre.
but that's in separately. So
That's-
this in
yes.
this bundle, you get this half-metre.
You would, yeah. They're all pre-cut to half metre.
And obviously, it goes beautifully. So if you were making something with those
of course.
panels, you can use.
It all works together, yeah. So there we go. You can see
So,
the
but not
size.
only that, you're also getting 3 half-metres
I
of
know.
the complementary colours. So these are the swirly bits that are in
that
the,
were in the elephant, but the colours have come from the animals as well. So everything
so that
matches.
lovely mint green.
Yeah, is in that panel.
This beautiful blue. You can see this quite vibrant blue
Yeah.
comes up quite often, like in the flowers.
Exactly.
and
The toucan's
the
quite a thing
toucan.
there as well with it. So yeah, absolutely.
And then you get a half-a-metre of this peachy orange, again, which comes quite often. So if you wanted to make a whole animal-themed item, if you love the illustrations and you want to put borders on them and sashes and bindings and handles or whatever, save yourself £10, $39.99, and you can have all of this. It's amazing, isn't it?
And again, it all works together, so you don't have to think, what shall I put
I
with
know,
it?
and
How
that's
does this
always
work?
hard. Well, I think particularly when you're buying like this, where you think, well, I've looked on the screen, is that the same colour? Well, you know it is.
Yeah, absolutely,
Because trying
because
to-
that's come from that.
Trying
That's
to
come
colour
from
match
that.
off without being
it's
there.
hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's
so
hard.
we've done that for you.
All done for you.
Right, so that's the whole bundle, $39.99. Now, if you just want to buy the big panel on its own, we do have that.
Yeah, tidy up.
separately. Now, it's a half-metre panel. This has already been flying out on pre-order, $15.99. So if it's multi-bought, do they come joined up?
Not necessarily. As we've talked about swatches, this
Yes.
imagine this is one whole swatch. So if we were to print this, we could then print another one, but you would still get your little bit of a gap, but you have in all of them anyway.
Right.
But you wouldn't sort of get half. It wouldn't be. You'd get the full piece.
Yes. I see
Kind
what
of.
you
Does
mean.
that make sense?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Whereas these swatches,
Whereas
just
they
keep
come up.
going.
Yeah, so even if you got two, they're not all joined up anyway, so it doesn't really
doesn't matter.
So $15.99 for this. That's a half-metre with all of these. They're all different sizes as well. This is what it looks like.
Lovely.
Absolutely
I mean,
adorable.
bags and cushions and.
Well, little pockets, labels,
all
things,
sorts.
maybe you just want to put a little inside pocket and you just put that on.
Exactly.
Maybe you want that to be the feature.
Yeah,
of
I mean, you
something.
could, as daft as it sounds, you could, put some more fabric around it and actually embroider this.
Yeah, well,
Put it in
that's
a
what I
little
think
frame.
is that if you love the style of them, you think, oh, I'll just keep that. And
Yeah,
then
just
you-
that little
you
one.
know
Yeah,
what you're gonna do
absolutely.
with it. Just $15.99 for that whole panel, and that is brand new today as well. Now, the other pieces of fabric, the panels, are available individually as well, if you want those. So the matching fabric.
Look, I've tidied up for you.
Yeah, that's very lovely. I need a tidy-upper. Yes.
It's because we've made a mess on that one.
Yeah,
We've just
we did,
moved
I
on
know.
to
We
the other
just-
one,
Well,
haven't we?
no, we'll just keep moving desks, really, until we've walked all the way round.
Absolutely, and then I'm going home with you.
Like my tents. If you want the animal one, now this is available by the half-metre, so if you multi-buy this, it will be printed. You won't get the white lines, it will just be repeated as a whole pattern, like you would normally buy a fabric print. So it's £8.49 for half a metre, and if you want more than half a metre, then you will be sent it as a whole cut piece. It's gorgeous, isn't it? And remember, it's multi-directional to make life easier.
Yeah, look at that little ant on the chameleon.
I know, it's gorgeous. And it's got the snail, that's my favourite one.
There's your dragonfly.
I think everybody will have their different
They
favourite
will,
one,
yeah,
won't they?
absolutely. I mean, even the ant is blue with big eyes.
Really cute.
It's lovely, isn't it? And the raccoon just looks like he's up to something. It really does.
Gorgeous.
They usually are.
Menagerie. Now, if you want the blender fabrics which have the similar patterns in them, but most importantly, they have the colour.
Yes.
And that's the thing. So the green one, this was the most popular on
Oh,
pre-order.
it's just so fresh, isn't it?
really fresh mint green.
Yeah,
isn't
and
it?
that lovely white print. What I've actually done, I've taken the designs or the artwork around the African elephant, and I've used a white instead of a colour.
Yeah,
to
no, it
actually
works really well for that kind
So
of
it is in
monochrome
there,
look.
but you don't want
it's
it
like
in your
a
face
plain
all the
with more
time, do you?
interest.
Yeah,
A
it's
textured
a nice
plain.
mixture one.
Again, £8.49 for half a metre. Swirls on apple. And then if you want the blue one, this is the same print as the apple, only it's blue.
Yeah, I like that blue.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Nice shirt.
Teal. Yeah, it is a beauty, like a sort of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sapphire-y teal
Yeah.
blue.
It's it's in your face, but not in your face. It's not going to take away the elephant and the
No, well, I
giraffe
think
and
it's
the-
nice because
all
it's
the
got a little bit
animals.
of movement in it.
Yeah.
And it's good to be able to buy a fabric that matches exactly.
Yeah, of course.
And then this one.
Look at that. They just love.
The
It's
three
an
go together
unusual,
really
isn't it?
well.
I think
Yeah.
when I was creating it, I don't know what I was expecting, but
Yeah.
this is what came, and I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, no, I think the apricot's gorgeous.
Yeah, I
isn't
like
it?
that. It works.
£8.49 for half a metre. So you can either buy the bundle with half a metre of each of them, including the panel, and you'll save £10. Or if you want to buy them individually, because you only want one or two of them, whatever, then you can buy them all that way. So do check out on those.
Okay.
Right, are you going to show us what
Yeah,
we
I've been
can make?
playing with the panel. Shall I?
Oh, brilliant, yes, show.
I think, I mean, I've got the whole bundle here, but what I've actually done, I've made a start.
Well, it's nice to see, because we all have our own ideas.
Well,
but
this
it's
is
lovely
it,
to have
see.
someone
Yeah,
else's.
and rather than me sort of, have something prepared as such, I've got a little bit, but it was nice that you see what I'm going to do with it and how I would think.
Absolutely. Well,
So-
you designed the fabric, so
So I've cut
it's nice
out.
to see what you would make with it.
I've pre-cut out safely all my little creatures. Then I've left a little bit of that white around the edge because that's going to be my seam allowance, and I don't want to lose any of the print.
Right.
So they're all sort of there ready cut. But what I've also done is I've cut some little squares, some little 4-inch squares of the actual sort of swatchy fabric as well, because they can match in. So what have I done with it so far? Here we go. I've got my little frog. You see, I've actually just stitched either side of 2-inch strips, and I've mixed a little bit of white in. So if you've got the, you know, the pastels from earlier,
Yeah,
you can mix those in.
Okay.
I did go back and buy them. I'll never have any money, will I?
No.
So there's my elephant, and you see I've actually mixed some of the different fabrics. They all work together, and there's those lovely swirls that match there. And I've got my little toucan also. So what would I do with
those colours, see now it's...
you see it
although
coming,
you put
don't
them
you?
next to them, I think you
Yeah.
need to have sewn them. So like when we were talking about your Bargello,
yeah.
even if you put fabrics next to each other, they don't look the same
No,
as when they're sewn,
that's
do they?
the
And
thing.
that is
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's just
It
really
matches.
nice. It works, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. And that apricot. It
So
just works.
I wouldn't put these two together side by side because I've only got so many, and it depends what size quilt I'm going to end up with.
That's
I
true.
don't know what size quilt I'm going to. It doesn't matter at the moment. I'm just playing. So I'd probably put that one sort of like further away, and I've got sort of little ones coming in.
I like that. I think it's quite nice. I mean, I love very regular quilts,
Yeah.
but I also like these sort of ones.
I'm not
where
going to
you
worry
just see
about
what
it.
happens.
Absolutely, let's not worry about it at all. So you see, I've got these little squares. Let's put that one there. Little squares I could start to put in position as well. So that starts to bring a little bit of that fabric in. So let me show you what I did and how I did this one. So I've cut myself, as I say, some 2-inch strips. Look, I made a mess again. And let's go. I mean, I'm not even going to worry too much about what colour, so I'm going to use
they
that
all
lovely
go,
blue.
don't
They
they?
all, exactly, they all work. So here we go. And what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick with the same thing that I did, as I've done the sides first. So if I do that throughout, rather than sort of switch about too
I
much
think
like
this
that.
would obviously be a lovely quilt for a child, wouldn't it? Or a baby.
Absolutely.
But because they're not pastel, they're bright, they're bold.
Yeah.
You know that you could be an older child.
Well, they're quite fun, aren't they, as
but
well?
It doesn't, but even an adult as well, because they're bright and bold.
Yeah.
They're fun as well.
Imagine it's, you know, in your garden furniture.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
like a throw over that, and
A lot of greenery in them.
it's just a bit of fun. So again, don't worry too much about making measurements. I've actually cut the strip width of fabric, and I'm stitching that bit on, and then I'm just going to cut it off where I need to. So it sort of negates the need for trying to measure and cut and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. And also, if you've bought the bundle, you see, you know that these are going to go together, because they really do.
So,
Yeah, see, I'm surprised with that. When you look at them originally, that apricot really works.
That's it. See, you've got to look and you think, okay, it's a bit,
I think
bit unusual.
you
But
used a tone of that in the background a lot in a lot of them.
Yes.
That's it.
yeah. I think because you've got animals, you're going to have
And
the
also the
foliage
sort
and
of
that kind of thing
swirly
with
spots of these,
Yeah.
these mixers work well with it, don't
Yeah,
they?
and then the nice thing as well, because the images are hand drawn, and then in the background you've got like stencils and inking,
Yeah.
and it comes out so well on the print.
But you can tell that they're hand drawn, because it has that lovely quality to it, doesn't it? Would you like me to iron those?
That's it. Slightly unique, not straight.
No,
going up.
it has that handcrafted look, which
Yeah.
which is much more appealing, I
Yeah.
think.
There you go. Are you in charge of iron?
Yeah, I'm really good at ironing.
Right. Well, you're doing that then. I'm
But
going to sort of
nothing.
put a little bit more
clothes.
around this
I
one.
don't like ironing clothes.
No, I'm a bit like that. They sort of sit in the corner until you have to.
I do. If
Yeah, same as sewing buttons. I'd rather actually make a new shirt than sew a button on. I know. My husband
I know, it's
thinks that's
ridiculous,
really
isn't it?
weird.
Like-
Well, I don't get any
like,
pleasure
I'll
from
finish a
sewing.
whole patchwork quilt, and then my husband goes, "You know that pair of shorts that I wanted the buttons sewn on
Yeah, like, no.
6 weeks ago?" I haven't got time for that.
Get a new pair.
The other day, and I went, "That's going to take me ages to sort that out."
Oh,
Not for me. And he goes,
no.
I went, "Oh, it's quite tricky."
Yeah.
It was quite tricky. Oh, I know. He always like rubs his goes through his elbows on his jumpers.
Oh, good grief.
I said, "Well, can you just keep your elbows off the table?" So he
Yeah.
wanted me to put like patches.
Oh no, like an ex-teacher patch.
Oh, so I had to like find some like denim. I can't remember what I put on it. And I said, well, it's quite tricky. So I got to all the shape, and then I'd have to hand sew it on. Do you know, in the end, I was in the sewing shop looking for something else, and I found iron-on ones.
Oh,
so I went, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Ironed them on. I did have to hand stitch them through.
Yeah, make it look.
But you see, I'll do a whole quilt, but I haven't got time to put patches on. I went,
No.
just keep your elbows off the table.
Absolutely, you could be making far more pretty things.
I know.
I mean, look how that blue's worked with that. How lovely is that?
So that's the only. So I can't do sewing for boring things like that,
that's it.
or ironing for boring things.
No, but look
that's
at
gorgeous.
that.
Yes,
so
that
look,
really
let's have a
picks
look
up.
what we're going to use.
But you still could use the apricot with that.
I could. Let's have a look. I mean, I've mixed and matched on the elephant, haven't I?
Yeah.
So I could do green at the top and an orange.
Well, also,
apricot
if
at the
you
bottom.
use all three throughout,
Yes.
then they would all just go together without overthinking.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing. The point we're trying to make here is don't overthink it. It's a case that you've got all these lovely fabrics, put them together, create these little blocks. And I know you're going to say, well, actually, Sandra, they're not going to fit together.
Yeah, they're not going to fit together.
Sizes. But who's to say what size it's supposed to be?
Well, they will, because you could just have slightly wider
I'm
bits
going to
of
trim a
sashing.
few bits off, or you can add an extra bit of sashing on if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So there's my little apple on there. See, this you don't have to worry. It's just liberating, isn't it?
Yes.
Liberating. Okay, let's put this.
Well, particularly if you're making something like, you know, a play mat or just a quick quilt or something,
Yeah.
just pop on the floor, or you just want a bit of wall art. You don't
This
want to
is
be
it.
spending hours.
I am a bit addicted to quilts, though. I'm not going to lie. It's one of those things. I've not actually been making quilts very long. Always.
Don't forget, though,
sewer,
we
but-
still have a few of the kit for the bar jello behind us. So this was something, if you weren't with Sandra and I at 9 o'clock, you might have only just started making quilts. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's easier than it looks.
Yeah.
It looks like a dip dyed.
Yeah, I mean, I've always
item.
sewn. I've always sewn, but dressmaking's my thing.
But dressmaking, oh right, and not
then-
quilting.
No, and I went to the Festival of Quilts with my friend Leslie,
Yeah.
and I brought a William Morris quilt kit. Look.
I know, isn't it
Yes, you
great?
do.
So it's like, I've never made a quilt before.
No, I've
what
not-
I thought I'd do.
I do a William Morris quilt kit. How hard?
How hard can it be?
Can it be?
Yeah, I was.
You know, you stitch things together. Okay. So I made that one, and that was, I think it's 3 years this August. And I just got the bug. I just got addicted. And then, of course, you think, well,
It's funny, isn't
my own
it? But then do you
fabrics.
find that there's some crafts I pick up and I really don't get addicted and probably never will. And others, you pick them up very quickly and think, oh, I love this.
I love this, and I'm like, well, what's the next one, and how's it going to look?
Yeah, I was like that with FPP. Never tried it, didn't like it.
I'd
tried it.
like to do it. I just, at the moment, I just don't
No,
quite
I
have the
decided
time.
I didn't like it. That's because I couldn't do it.
Oh.
And then, it's always a good attitude, isn't it? And then I tried it and thought, oh, became a little bit addicted. You know, I did a lot of it. It was a really good lockdown thing to do because it's it's so pleasant.
I worked throughout lockdown.
Well, I
Yeah,
did as well,
didn't
and I
have
did FPP and worked.
Gosh. So let's have a look at this, see. Let's put that one.
But it's a good sort of slow thing. and
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right.
Problem is, I get addicted to what I'm doing at the moment. I love that.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? I'm thinking,
I love
putting these together, look, so I can put like...
So you could just make all these blocks and then lay them all out, and if they don't quite fit together, you just put an extra bit.
Yeah, I mean, then they're not going to all fit together. They're...
Yeah, you see, look, because you could go like that, and then you could go, right, I can have a big strip in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just stitching a few now around.
And that's the sort of thing that people spend hours designing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. And in fact, you go, yeah, well, actually, I decided I needed 3 inches.
Sometimes, though, do you know, you need to do this. And it's one of those that you don't have to worry about following the chart, getting it all together.
Right, we have got a complimentary bundle to go with this one. Where is it?
So is that something else I've got to buy to go with?
Yeah, you've got to get
So I
the
can mix.
complimentary
I can
bundle.
mix
I don't
it
know
in
where it is
between it
really.
all.
Right, okay, so this bundle, let me just go through it with you, and then I will find the complimentary bundle. Maybe it fell off the table. We did lose.
Maybe it's on the other table we were on last
Yeah,
time.
we did lose a few things off the table. Now, this bundle that Sandra's working with, so if you want to do this, sew as you go.
Yeah.
Not
Do you
quilt
know,
as
it's
you
so
go.
much fun, though. It
It's
really
called
is.
Make It Up As You Go quilt.
Yeah.
You will need the whole bundle. Now, remember, you're saving £10 by buying all these. So you start off with the whole panel, and all of these are slightly different sizes. You've got the little ones who are like 2.5-inch squares. You've got 4-inch. You've got the more dominant ones. You can make it into a whole project. You can just use them for little things. If you love the style of them, it's worth getting because you can use it for things later. So you get the panel. You will also get the repeat fabric with all the miniature images, and the great thing is it's multi-directional, so it's all the little images of all of them. You get, that's ½ metre, and then you will get the 3 complementary pieces. So what you've got the apricot with all the swirls and the spots, you've got the teal with the swirls and the spots, and apple, and those 3 colours exactly complement and blend with the animal panel. So £39.99. Now, if you bought all of these separately, it would cost you £10 more. There we go. £39.99 for all of them. Right, how are we getting on?
Well, I'm just playing. You just carry on. I'm just playing.
Yes, yeah.
Now, what I've
In a
done
minute,
here,
Sandra,
let me
we'll
show you what I've
finish
done.
A whole quilt.
So I've got my giraffe done, of course, and now these, you know, the 2 smaller ones, I've added, so it's almost the same size, look, so I can do another one, but I've added an extra piece here, so it's sort of become one block, so I'm forming kind of another rectangle. So I wouldn't put another one of those on there, although it would look quite nice. I'm going to put one of those sort of further up there. Okay. And you can see now how the animal...
Yeah, no, it's really coming.
It's almost like the panels coming back together again.
Yeah.
I've got these extra strips
But bigger.
in the middle, but bigger. So then this one, perhaps again, I wouldn't put these 2 together. I'd have this one further down. And this is why it's nice to do these little blocks as you're going. Then put them all out on the floor, assuming that my little puppy's not in the way there, my little Finley. It has to run off the things. And then, of course, you can then see where things are going to go. You think, actually, it needs a little bit of plain there, or it needs another animal, and you can move them about. And then it's a case of stitch them together. And you can have such a fun, wonderful afternoon.
Oh, I know. And then
just putting these together.
I mean, what happens?
The artwork's divine. It's really nice to look at. And you're all going to have something completely
And it is,
different,
and it does
what we
happen
do
like
with
that, doesn't
Santangle.
it? Right, that's fab. If you want that bundle, do check out
Gonna
on
finish
it.
that.
£39.99. Right, we've got a gorgeous kit. The summer bag. Here comes the sun.
Oh, this is lovely. I used this one actually because I used it in the last summer.
Did you?
Yeah, actually, it was my work bag.
It was your summer
Yeah.
work bag. It says Loving Life on it. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the kit contains everything you need to make the bag, but also it's got all the bits inside, isn't it?
Well, it has, yeah, absolutely. And what I've actually done, the
Let me show
difference
you.
with this one compared
So there's an internal pocket anyway.
Yeah.
But it also has these bits.
Well, this is it, yeah. I mean, last year we did it on like a cotton poplin almost, whereas this year I've done it on the same quilting weight fabric. So I've turned it round, made more use of the fabric. So rather than give you the
I
same,
see.
I've been able to extend some of the fabric
So you've
pieces
got
so you get a bit extra.
You've got the book cover.
I
Every
know.
day is a good day.
Even instructions for how to do it.
That's lovely, isn't it? So you cover your book, instructions of how to make it as well, obviously, and then the little zip purse as well. And that all fits in your bag.
Absolutely. And you can embroider or you can add little bits and pieces to the front of your bag.
So let
which
me
I
show
did.
you the fabric
You've got
panel.
2 different sets of words, so you can choose what words you want on it, or none if you don't want any. Shall I come and help?
Yeah, I'm just going to lay it on the table because it's quite good to see how big it is.
It's quite a size, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Goodness me. Let's keep going.
Right. So on the panel...
It's about 1.5 meters, I think.
Yeah, no, it's really big. So you've got the labels. Every day is a good day in Loving Life, so you can put that on the bag or the notebook cover. You've got all the pieces for it, the straps, the handles. Look, all the pieces that you need, they're all laid out onto there. In the sort of, well, they're beautiful floral, some of them on a white background, some of them on a black background. And then you get full instructions. So it shows you exactly what to cut out, how to make the bag, how to sew, put my glasses on. There, how to put the... Whoa, it's amazing now. It's so easy to follow.
Just cut them out and see what happens.
Helps if you put your glasses
But again,
on.
if you wanted to, you could use planes instead of having the patterns inside, and you could end up
That's
making
true.
2 bags.
And then it gives you instructions about how to do the quilting as well.
Yeah.
There we go. So that is the summer bag, $25.99, and you've got all the pieces there to make the bag and the book cover and the little pouch as well. And I like the one in your photo you've put on like rope handles as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to switch it around. So sometimes it's, you know, it's a little bit different, isn't it, if that's what you want to do with it.
Yes, perfect. Perfect for those summer trips. So that is the summer bag.
I do that, Rebecca.
Oh, yes.
There you go. I'll be
Right.
your assistant.
Oh, thank you. I'll do the ironing, you do the folding.
Yes.
Right, the next one we've got is the steampunk,
Oh, this is
Tote
really
bag.
cool.
and that's a panel.
But again, you don't have to have both images on the same bag. You could actually make 2 bags.
So you've got the boot on one side and the hat on the other. Shall I show you the panel? There we go. So there's the instructions, just explains how to make the bag. And then this is the fabric panel.
Again, we've put this on the quilting weight cotton, so it's a say, you know, it's a real good quality. I mean, both were, but it's real good quality. It means I've been able to give you a little bit extra fabric, so it's a nice one. This.
So you've got the hat there, so you can see there's the front of the bag, there's the back, or either way. You've got the lining pieces, handles. Oh no, this is the lining here.
And you've got that. Now that's an extra piece.
Oh, that's an extra piece.
Yeah, and I took that from the actual boot. If you look at the very
okay.
top of the boot where you've got like a cuff,
Yes.
there you go. So that's been turned into a print.
And that's just an extra piece.
Yeah, so you can
Something
use
else?
it. I think have I used it inside?
Well, you've put the top
yeah,
of the
little
pocket
bits.
on it on the
yeah,
inside.
so you can use it as an inner lining, make a boot cover with it, whatever you want to do to sort of work that together.
And it's got some extra
Extra
images
bits
there as well.
Yeah.
$25.99 for that. Right. Now, a brand new Crafty tools bag.
Yeah,
This is
Shall
lovely.
I'll assist you.
I know she's so much better than I am.
I'm going to send her a bill.
I think this is great. So we've got a choice of kits to go with this one. So the bundle that it's made out of is this one, is the peach. Let me show you around this. So the idea behind this is to carry all your crafty tools. So whether it's your sewing tools, your pens, your pencils.
Yeah, your
all
scissors, your...
So it looks
go
like
to
a little
cutting.
handbag.
Do you know, it's really clean and smart, isn't it?
It is. It's really lovely. So if you were taking that somewhere, maybe you were, I think, you know, if you were going to a class or a workshop or a group, really it's
quite smart, that, yeah.
smart little handbag. And then, this is what I love, it's got magnetic snaps, and you just open it up, and it's got all these different pieces. So I love the fact the bag comes off.
Yeah, it has to, because you don't want to be having that. You can have that in front of you laid
Yeah.
out, but then that you might want right next to you.
Well, and it's got a zip on the top, so you might, it depends what you're going to put in there.
Well, yeah, or you might, you know, if you're going for coffee, you might need to take your purse and your phone.
Yeah.
So you don't always want to leave it on the desk. So point it in that, you could take it with you.
That's true.
And then
it has
you
an
can
extra
pop it back on
pocket
afterwards.
here, a flat pocket, and then you can obviously put the different size divisions in it. It's got another zip pocket here. But everything you see, so even when you, and then all you have to do when you want to put it back on, you just press it back on like this, snap it back on. But I like the fact that although when you close, it's not closed at the sides, it doesn't matter because everything's enclosed.
Everything's enclosed, everything's secure, and of course your pencil case or where you're putting your scissors and your threads, it's going to bulk out.
Yeah, exactly.
So you
So
didn't
you
want
need
that
that.
extra bits in the side, and everything's just matched perfect.
I mean, it's a lovely thing to make for somebody, isn't it?
It
If you've
is.
got a friend who comes to a class with your
Yeah, yeah.
workshop, whether they, you know, they might be crocheters, they might be, you could put all your circular needles in here.
Lots of different sort of ways. I mean, to be honest, I have got a smaller sort of like essentials thing I throw in the car, and I've never got enough space to put all
No,
my
I
pens
think- I
in,
think it's
so
lovely.
I
I
have to make
think-
one a bit bigger.
And the fact that it
Bigger.
folds open like that. There's so much. Well, yes, you know, like, because I have a bag that I put all my sock making things in, but actually I could get my ball of wool in here.
Well, that's it, see. It just works, and it's because it's all contained.
Yes, and well, to me, it's that neatness. I love the fact that it's just like a nice little neat handbag.
Yeah.
You just pop that down.
It doesn't look like
if
you're
going on
class.
holiday, you know, going on a flight or something. You want
Absolutely.
to take a bit of sewing, or I always take something with me.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just neat, isn't it?
Yeah,
Lovely.
that's absolutely, yeah. And at the bottom, what I've actually done right at the bottom is a
here.
piece of grey board.
Okay,
So
yeah, I mean, that's...
you don't have to put it in, and I have said I've used Decaville Light.
Oh, okay,
Or
yeah.
you can use Bosal if you want. I'm not a Bosal girl, but if...
I like I've recently started using it.
Yeah, I like the structure.
It is nice structure.
And the bit in the middle, so where the pencil case is, underneath it, I've given you the option to slide a piece of grey board in there, and then we put the binding round, and it just holds it in place and gives it a squarer bottom.
Lovely. Well, let me show you what you get.
Yep.
So, in the kit, you get full instructions, and you get the pattern. That's a big pattern.
Well, yes, I like proper size
Yeah,
patterns.
no, it's a lot.
Honestly. So everything that you need's there.
Is this tool bag kit good for beginners? I'm still finding my feet making bags, says Kerry.
Oh, well, I'm going to do a little demonstration so you can see how it goes together.
Okay, cool. Yeah, why not? Give it a go. Very, very comprehensive instructions. Lots of photos, if that helps, Kerry, and full-size patterns. And then in the kit, so we've got two colourway versions. This apricot colourway, so you've got the print one, and then you've got this blender one that goes with it. And that's enough fabric to make the whole thing.
It is, yeah. You get, actually, I've got mine here, and let me show you. You've got a little bit extra. So
Okay,
you get,
but you've got enough
you've got
fabric to make it
enough
all.
to make a little case or something.
Oh, brilliant. I mean,
So-
obviously, you will need things like the zips and
Of
the
course, yeah,
stabilisers as well. So that's the apricot, peach version. And then we've also got the same thing, but maybe you prefer the mint version.
It's lovely, isn't it? And I think the nice thing to mention about these, if you look at the fabric, we've seen these fabrics before, so you've got some of the Locket Lane, but if you look at the swirls, you think, okay, I've seen that, and the menagerie that you've just...
Yes, exactly.
But these are exclusive colours.
Ah, same swirls.
Because we
different
printed it
colours.
ourselves, I've
Yeah.
actually matched the colours to the Locket Lane, so you've got the newness of the fabrics bringing it together, but no, you can't get that fabric anywhere else other than in these kits.
Amazing.
It's just nice to have that little bit of something special, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, no, that's lovely.
Really
so
works.
there's two different versions. They're both £22.99. You've got full-size pattern piece, all the instructions and the fabrics. You just need to choose between the peach and the mint. So how do we make it?
Okay, so how do we make it?
Oh, sorry, pattern on its own.
Oh, pattern on its own, sorry.
Very quickly. If you want the pattern on its own... Sorry, I know people are asking, completely forgot that. If you want the pattern on its own and use your own fabric, £12.99. Obviously, you will get the pattern with it as well, the pattern pieces. So if you want the pattern on its own, £12.99, and then you can use your own fabric.
Okay.
There we go. Right, sorry.
That's all right.
Just rewind.
So completely from scratch, cut your pieces out. What I would do first, lay your fabrics out, and we have put on there, cut fabric A in fabric A, cut in fabric B. So you decide which is fabric A and which is fabric B. It really doesn't matter because you've got the same amount of both. You can mix and match. So say, for example, if you wanted that top facing bit where the magnetic strip is kind of thing, you could have that in a different fabric if you wanted to. I've got it all
okay.
in the same,
Yes.
but you could actually have it on the inner
Right.
mix and match. So what I've done, I've cut them all and I've put my interfacing or Decaville on. So I'm happy I've got all that done. And I keep the pattern piece with the pieces all the way through, you see. So all nice and organised. And you notice they're all rectangles, or mostly, apart from the pencil case. And so if I come to this bit, inner and outer bag, it's a big rectangle, and we've got some marks here. I don't necessarily, for things like this, I don't put notches in, because friction pens are wonderful things and you can mark it. So don't worry too much about snipping and things like that. So my outer bag is going to be my blue Locket Lane. So I'm going to put that to one side. You see, I've got Decaville on that ready. And I'm going to work on the inside, which has got some interfacing on. Because I want it a little bit sort of more structured, I've made sure
Have you got, is it Decaville Light? Or
it is Decaville.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's nice, isn't
it's
it?
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've interfaced, I've used a medium interfacing on this. It's going to stay sort of still for me while I work on it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pattern on and I'm going to mark those 3 lines. Okay, using my borrowed ruler from earlier. I will put it back. I'm going to line it up, look, and I'm going to just put my lines down there. Now, bearing in mind, if you start pressing this all over the place, you're going to lose those lines. But just for now, we're okay with this. We can do that. Okay, so there's that bit. So then I've got certain parts that I want to work sort of with. So I've got my top facing. That's the bits that I'm going to fold in half and turn into the top facing when I put the handles on. So don't need that. This is where you're going to put your magnets. Having said
brilliant. So that's all on there.
yeah. So I've got a pocket here and a pocket flap. Let's have a look at doing that. So my pocket, again, I've only interfaced one side. The side I interface is the side you're going to see.
Right.
It's the bit on the inside. Now, again, if you wanted to, you could use a plane.
Yeah, that's true.
But I like to know that it's there.
I
like
do
that
as well.
little bit
I like lining the
exquisiteness.
pocket. And you only see it just when you open.
Yeah,
It's
but
nice
it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
does it? It really doesn't
I
matter.
love a lining. I always put, whenever I make a bag, I might put like the brightest or funniest.
Yeah,
fabric. It just gives me joy.
Well, this is it. I mean, if you look into the zipped pocket, you'll see that I've got like the locket laying on the inside,
Yeah,
but then you
no,
look
I
on the
love
back
that.
and it all matches.
I always choose something for my stash that's really sort of bright or doesn't match at all.
Absolutely.
So it's when you open your bag, you go, oh.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to come to the instructions and just sort of point something out to you here, because of course we say in the instructions, you look, I'm actually showing you that place, that's the zip pocket. So look, it's showing you that how I've marked things off, because I've got to put poppers in here. So what I've done to start with is I've stitched across the top, or I would have done if my bobbin hadn't have been empty. How many times have you done that? Not realised.
Many, many, many.
Right, bear with me a second, everybody, because I'm going to have to thread a bobbin.
So my current machine, and not the last machine, but the one before that, would tell me more my bobbin had run out.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
So when I bought my current one, I made sure it had that feature.
That's quite nice. I haven't got that feature.
Some
on
do and
mine.
some don't, and it's
No.
just brand or it just, I don't know.
It's just,
But you know, everyone has a thing they want with the machine. I have to have your bobbins run out thing,
I have to have,
and I
don't
have
even
to
know if
have
it's threading right.
foot lifts when I stop sewing.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I like the threader.
Yeah, there is that.
It's
I like the
instant.
thread
I like
cutter
that.
as well.
I do.
Actually, there's many things I'd like. In fact, I've decided, because I've got quite a few machines, that there are certain features on some I like and on others, and if only someone could combine them all
Well, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
into one machine.
That'd be lovely. Let's take that bit off. There
Hasn't
you go.
happened yet, though.
It's like being back at school, this. One of the kids saying, Miss, my bobbin doesn't work. I used to spend all that time
Thread
in
my pin.
textiles, threading needles and all sorts of things. Taking away birds' nests from underneath.
Yes.
Yeah, year sevens. Oh. Year eights, actually. Year sevens weren't too bad. It's year eight.
Really?
Yeah.
They're the problems.
Yeah. And year nine's no hope.
Year nines, no, they've given up.
Yeah. No, it's just, I taught technology. I had to teach textiles and food to Key Stage 3. So it was interesting. So
I bet that was. Bet you've got the patience of a saint.
not
now.
anymore.
I wouldn't want to
Right.
do that.
So a little bit of pointing out with.
Sorry, it's just moving
sorry.
on.
Yeah.
Did you want that iron?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Go on then. You do it. We want to put poppers. Well, you don't have to put poppers in now.
No.
Oh, it's still not stitched properly, has it? Look at that. I'll not carry on with that. It's fine. The bobbin didn't want to wind properly. Imagine it's fine. So what I would do now is I'd put the poppers in, because I think then as you look inside, do you think we should just bring that one over? Is that all right?
Yes.
Show you what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, what I could do is I could stitch across the top and across there, turn it out,
There you go.
and then do
I'll
the
have a look at your
poppers.
bobbin.
Thank you. It just didn't want to thread right. But if I open these, you know when you're putting things in and out of your pockets, you're not going to catch your poppers, because on the inside they're not there. You can't see them. So that's quite a nice thing to sort of think about, really. They're not going to catch
Oh, yes.
because I've
you've
just
got-
put it on that one
Yes.
side. So let's have a look at how I would do that whilst I've got an expert looking at the machine.
Just checking it out, seeing what's
Okay.
going on.
So where do I put my poppers? What you lost?
The foot.
Oh, there isn't one. I've just been using
No.
start and stop.
No foot.
Yeah, I've been using start. Don't worry about measuring. I'm going to fold it in half and crease it. And then I'm going to fold it in half again so I can bring, don't know what's up with it, do you? Normally we can sort something.
Let me just read through.
So, and then here, look, I've folded. So it's a little bit like I've got now 4 places. So I've got 3 creases, 1, 2, 3, 4 sections and 3 creases. So you can see here, look, I've got 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. So then if I measure about an inch down, that's where I'm going to put my popper. So rather than have to measure in and out and all the rest of it, we can put poppers in there. So that's as straightforward as that is. She says without, we've just broke the machine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The blue kit, do you mean the mint one?
Oh, it's good. I do want to make this one. It's
The
really
mint
nice.
one is in single figures.
Single figures. But yeah, it's just lovely. Shall I show how to put a popper in?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
I'm seeing what's wrong with this machine. I don't know how the needle thread works, so I've had to do it by hand, which is quite frustrating. It all works slightly differently, really.
So because I've marked where my poppers go, it's all go today, isn't it?
It's all exciting.
It's
all exciting.
But you know what, like the ever professional, we're not worried. Oh, scissors.
Yeah, sorry.
Right, not my fabric scissors, my regular scissors. I've got some little poppers here. So I've got them that colour match. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need a couple of those.
It was the top thread.
Was it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Sometimes, it's weird, is that it doesn't work when it looks like the bobbin thread, but it's not. It's weird, isn't it?
Doesn't matter, as long as it works. As long as you're not going to send me a bill, it's all right.
No, you'll be fine.
So, so here we go, poppers. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my little pokey tool. I'm going to push it through that hole there. And I'm going to take my little pointed section, and that's going to come through there, like so.
These were nice size.
Yeah, they're quite nice. And
yeah. Well, some you get some big ones, some small ones. These are quite
yeah,
nice size, aren't they?
I mean, quite really, I don't want to sort of, I'll tell you what I'm going to do before I do that. I'm going to poke the holes, but then I need to get rid of those red lines, because it's going to be tricky to iron them out, isn't it, afterwards?
Hairdryer.
Oh, excellent.
Someone told me that once, because I had exactly the same issue, and I thought, how am I going to do
that?
And then someone said to me, hairdryer, and I thought,
see, every day's a school day.
Genius.
Every day. So let's put that one in.
Particularly, I discovered the other day, if you mark quilting lines onto Bozal, and you try and iron them out, because they're sort of like in, because it's such a deep quilting, they're really hard to get out. You have to like use the edge of the iron, so I tried my hairdryer, worked a treat.
Yeah, and it's a bit tricky.
All the top.
I know, absolutely. What not to do, what to do. Actually, I'm going to use that one because it presses in, doesn't it? There we go.
This pattern is absolutely flying out.
Yeah, this is what not to do, isn't it? So with that, I'm going to put my flat bit there. You can pick these up readily available, aren't they?
Or get a green machine.
Got a green machine, that'd be, yeah, I haven't got the green machine.
Have you not? You need to get a green machine. I love mine.
What if I get it on expenses?
I love it so much, it sits on my windowsill in the front, so
Really?
everyone who walks past can see
Knows
it.
that you've got one.
It's like an ornament.
Oh, no.
But I need to get some more things for it.
There's my
bigger
poppers.
cam snaps. I need some.
Oh, look at the state. So let's get rid of that. Now she's fixed my machine.
I know. Do you know what? It's not going to work now, is it? No, I've reread it. It'll be like, oh dear.
Okay. Oh, it sounds better. There we go. So imagine, we've done this before the poppers. There you go.
Yeah, but this is what happens at
yeah,
home, isn't it?
absolutely.
This always happens.
So now I've put my poppers in, because now they're going to be in between the two fabrics, and they're not going to sort of get in the way of whatever you're putting in. But I do need to now come back and stitch this side, because it's going to be like a raw edge, not around the bottom.
Right, so let me show you.
It's all about being neat.
It's making sense now. So what you're making is this flap, the flap.
No, this bit.
Oh, that bit. I thought you were making this. Oh, right.
Not yet, not yet.
Oh, so that's the bit where. Okay, I've got it.
Yeah, because of course at the bottom it's not going into anywhere.
True.
So rather than just fold it under, we want to make it nice and neat, don't we? So I've made like a little tube.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so it's that bit, but you've put them on first.
Yeah.
Because you don't. Yeah.
I don't want them getting
You
caught
don't,
with anything.
Because They're not here.
No, you can't see them.
Sandwich.
And they're not going to get in the way of anything.
That's so great about following people's patterns because you've reverse engineered the whole thing.
Yes.
It's the sort of thing you discover as you go.
I know, and then I'm questioning myself now, like, what did I do?
Because you...
Exactly.
Otherwise you'd made it. Let me iron
Yeah,
that for
okay.
you. But not
I'll
on
move,
top of
not
your
on,
fingers.
no, I'll move them.
I've ironed on those.
Move them for
before.
later.
They iron, they melt beautifully.
Yeah.
Have you ever ironed
Just-
a fabric clip?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing they are.
For the first time we've worked together, I think we're getting on all right, aren't we? We're
I
solving
had
all sorts of
fabric
problems
clips
today.
stuck to my iron and it all sort of came off as a gloopy mess.
Oops.
I'm impressed.
Look at this, she can come again, look at this.
I told you I only do ironing, don't give me your dirt.
Oh, put my pokey tool away. So you see, you've got a lovely little tube now.
Yeah, no, I think that's quite good because I see what you mean now. So you
Yeah.
haven't, so let me show you, 'cause you haven't, oh, I forget that's not
That's it. Well, those threads
You
everywhere.
haven't, by doing it that
Yeah.
way, you've got your poppers,
Yeah.
but you haven't got them here because you don't want them there.
Exactly, yeah. So you've not got them there. So when you turn that way round, you know, you're not going to get anything
So
stuck.
if we show you,
Yeah, here's one I did earlier.
here's one I did earlier.
There you
So
go.
that is
that bit there.
and you've got no poppy bits
Nothing
and
popper there, so it's nice and neat. Yeah? So with this bit, you see where you put this line? I'm not going to put it directly on the line. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. Because remember that you want this bit to fold.
Yeah.
So that's going
What's
to be...
the stuff that
this
you
up.
put in there?
Grey board.
What is that?
You can use... Well, if you have cereal, you can cut a cereal box up and maybe
Oh,
stick
so-
two bits
oh, that-
together.
okay.
It's just a thick piece of card.
So like 2 cereal boxes?
Yeah, just a thick piece of card, and what it's going to do is going to keep the structure a bit
Okay,
more
I
there
didn't
for
know
you.
what grey
Yeah.
board was.
Well, that's it.
That's something you can buy then?
You can buy it,
the
yeah,
thing.
you can actually
You're
buy
a
it.
paper
Yeah,
crafty, so I
yeah,
know
see,
nothing
this
about
is it.
paper.
You can buy it, yeah. But it's nice to slip it in because we're binding the edges. We're not
So
going
do
to turn it
paper
over.
crafters use that?
Yeah, yeah.
What
you
do
can,
they use
yeah.
it for?
You can use it for mounting cards on.
okay.
You can use it for putting.
Oh, can
in
we buy it on
sorts of
Hobby
things.
Maker?
Yeah, you can get it.
There we
So my world's both. I'm in
Yes,
both
mine isn't.
worlds.
So, if you want some grey board, go onto Hobby Maker.
Yeah.
It's called grey board.
Grey board. Yeah.
Oh, grey board.
It's called grey board. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Right. So obviously, I'm going to clip this. You don't have to do anything else with it. I'm going to stitch down here because I can see my poppers now. Stitch however many pockets you want to make.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks so much
And
for showing.
that's how you
Well, I
do
just think that's
the
quite
zips.
useful to have seen the thing
Just
with
one
the
thing.
with the poppers and
Yes.
the marking. So we've got 2 different kits
Now to fix a machine.
and how to fix them because that happens to all
We
of
did
us
it between us. We did it
all the time.
I am going to finish this because I do want to have one.
Okay,
of
you
this.
finish.
Yeah.
I'll go.
But not. I won't get it all done now, but I will finish it.
So for the minty one, oh sorry, teal, the tealy one. There are more people who've got this in baskets than we've actually got available. We only have 9 of these kits left. So you will get full instructions, full size, lots and lots of pattern pieces. And once you've bought the kit and you've made one, you can make one for everyone you know. Because different people will use them for different things. Only 9 of those kits left, that's the teal. If you want the apricot version, what was it called, peach?
Well, I think I've called it peach, haven't I?
Peach.
I've called it peach because the original of that fabric was known as,
Oh, okay.
wasn't it?
The
And this is a paler version, so again, it's
You want the
exclusive.
The peachy version. It looks like a peach. Outside peach, inside peach.
Yeah.
Single figures of that one as well. The teal one is very, very slightly the lead, but they're very close and they're also
yeah.
about to sell out, so you need to be quick with that. If you want the instructions on their own, obviously you get the instructions and you get the pattern pieces. Super, super popular. We do have those as well. $12.99 for those. Yes, and we have one more kit for the backpack. Back in stock. Let me show you. How lovely is that? It's got a handle.
Yeah, the bottom bit won't come as a different fabric. That's my prototype.
Okay,
So
yours will come as the
You
same.
can do it either as all the same fabric, or you could do it as the inside. Now, the fabric, the pinky fabric, is all symbols. So it's all to do with gratitude and being thankful.
Positive, always love yourself.
And there is a lady, I just want to apologise, there is a lady that emailed me and asked me, she's brought this bag, and she asked me about, I don't know what, it was a question about one of the instructions.
Yes.
I am so sorry. I got your email, I thought I'm going to answer that. And you know when you do that and then you've lost
Have
it? Please email me back because Was it you?
I do. No, I do that all the time. And I open messages.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that later.
I know. Please email me back because I will answer you. And if you are stuck with something, I will help.
Okay,
but I'm so sorry because I've lost it. I've completely lost
that
the
happens
email.
to everybody.
But I will. Please email me back and I will sort it.
Okay. So this is a great bag because look, it's one of these where you open it wide, so open, you get absolutely loads in, and then to close it, you just fold it over. It's got the 2 D-rings to close it. It's got the backpack straps, and it's got a handle. It's a lovely bag.
Yeah, you get all the hardware with that as well, so everything.
Everything.
Even
Yeah, let me
zip,
show you.
Zip
So
as well.
in the kit, you get full instructions. You get full size patterns, sheet 1 and sheet 2, lots of big patterns. You get all of the fabrics, so you get this one with these lovely messages on it. You get the matching lining fabric, and then you get all of the sliders and the D-rings as well. Everything you need.
Nice.
Fabulous, $34.99. So you get the fabric and the hardware and the instructions and the pattern sheets. Absolute bargain. Perfect.
I know. There's a lot of stuff gone through
lot
today,
there.
isn't there? Gosh.
Right, and we have to finish off by mentioning the Bargello. We do not have many of these kits left. If you've got the Bargello kit, let me just show you. In your basket, this was, Sandra was here at 9 o'clock this morning to demonstrate it. You need to get checked out. It's absolutely beautiful. This is original design from you.
Yeah, yeah.
Matched with original, the fabrics have been designed for the pattern, which is fabulous because that's how you get this wave.
Yeah.
I know it looks complicated. That's the great thing because it really isn't.
Nope.
Cut the strips, sew them together, cut them up.
Yeah.
Sew back
That's
together.
it.
That's
Straight
it.
lines.
The kit contains all the fabric. So I know it says 7.5 metres, but it's actually 8.5 metres of fabric. We have taken over £50 off the price. If you've got it in your basket, then you need to get it checked out. It should be £195. It's got so much fabric in it, but it's not. £139.99. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, it really is a piece of wall art that you are going to show off to all of your friends. So do check out on that. We've still got the pattern and the fabrics. We've also got the pattern on its own as well, if you want the pattern on its own. If you go onto sewingstreet.com and go and watch live, it's on there. So if you want to make it from your own fabrics, we have both. Fabulous, thank you so much. When are you back on Sewing Street?
I'm once a month. But don't
Just
ask me the date. I don't even know
sometime
what
in
day
May.
it is, to be honest.
Sometime in May.
Sometime in May, yeah.
Ah, but you on Extra Stitch?
Oh,
too,
of
today?
course I am. Yes,
You are?
I am. Yeah, it's something different.
Is
Yeah,
it?
completely different.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
cooking,
No.
candle making.
Because completely different.
Oh, so excited, I should have to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
2 o'clock,
And
Extra Stitch.
I've got a little piece of art I'm going to give away.
Wow.
Yeah, just
so
so you can turn it into whatever you want. I've not made it into anything. I've just drawn something on some
you
fabric.
have to go on the Sewing Street Facebook page
Yes,
to watch.
you do. Yeah.
So 2 o'clock, don't miss it. Free artwork.
Yeah.
Something completely different. Got to be there. It's got to be
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
fun.
Well, we'll see you then. I will see you back in a couple of minutes' times with Hayley. Now she's going to be going through the sewing machine section. Gosh, that was hard to say.
I know. What's it?
Of
Slow down.
the machine, and for those of you who want to see that section, remember, if you've got that sewing embroidery machine in your basket, you need to check out. We've got loads of you in the basket, but we've also got an overlocker, and that's what we're going to start with, the Husqvarna overlocker. It's an amazing Scott birthday price. This is the time to get yourself an overlocker bargain, because it also comes with some free goodies as well. I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes' time.
If you're using a pattern that's quite bold and you know that you want the centre back to run down the middle of the fabric and to have it identical on one side and the other, how do we match it up? Well, it's quite easy. What you do is you pin your pattern piece to where you want the pattern. Then quite simply, you take a pen and you draw around the motif. You're only cutting one layer out now. You're only cutting one side of the back out now. You draw round your motif with your pen. Then cut the piece out, put that to one side. Then when you cut the other piece out, you flip your pattern, because obviously you need a right and a left hand side, and you just put that pattern that you've drawn in exactly the same place, on the fabric, which means when you make the dress, both motifs will be in exactly the same place on the back, either side of the centre back.
Sewing Street's designer block competition is back. Use the fabric on our bespoke panel to make your very own quilt block masterpiece. 12 lucky winners will be announced on Friday the 20th of June. Each winner will receive a £100 credit to your Sewing Street account. Your block will be proudly exhibited at the Festival of Quilts 2025. Sewing Street's designer block competition.
Our UK-based call centre is always on hand to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Looking for the perfect gift for the sewing enthusiast in your life? The Sewing Street gift card is just the thing. Choose between a physical card delivered to their door or a convenient e-gift sent straight to their inbox. It's easy. Just head to the Sewing Street website, scroll to the bottom of the page, click Gift Cards, or use your smartphone, scan the QR code and go straight there. Pick the amount you'd like to load onto the card, and that's it. The Sewing Street gift card, the gift of creativity made simple.
Hi everyone, Andy here, and I'm very excited to tell you about our next Craftopia event that's taking place from Friday, May the 23rd to Sunday, May the 25th at the lovely Abbey Hotel in Redditch. 4 workshops with some of the best tutors available in the crafting world today, bringing you a little bit from all 3 of our channels. That's Hobby Maker, Jewellery Maker and Sewing Street. And what's even better, the price includes all your accommodation, all your workshops, all your meals, all your snacks and a goodie bag worth over £200. And this year, for the first time, we're excited to bring you Friday night crafting with lots of surprises in store. So your talented tutors for the weekend are Julie Peplow, introducing you to the world of card making, Carla Bagshaw, who'll be inviting you to make your own memory albums. We also have Catherine Wright, who'll be introducing you to hand sewing, and Debbie Kershaw, introducing you to the wonderful world of jewellery making. And here's the best part, you won't need to bring anything at all because everything is included. So you can join us for the entire weekend, or just part of it. Or if you just want to come to the workshops, we've got ticket options for everyone. All you need to do is to visit the website and search out Craftopia, or you can email me directly, andy.love@hobbymaker.co.uk. As always, places are limited, so make sure you don't miss out and book your tickets now. And join us for the best craft weekend ever, from Friday, May the 23rd to Sunday, May the 25th. I look forward to seeing you there.
Did you know at Sewing Street that on various products we offer split pay? That means on certain items you can spread the cost over 2, 3, 4 or sometimes even 5 interest-free monthly payments. Just pay the first instalment when you purchase and you're away. So shop your way with split pay.
Did you know that we can deliver to over 20 different countries worldwide, spanning 4 continents from the UK to Australia? Check out our website for the list of countries and delivery costs. Sewing Street, stitching the world together.
Welcome back to Sewing Street. And Hayley.
Hello.
So we're all about overlockers now.
We are, yes.
We are going to go through the sewing machine section of the other one that I promised, but we're going to do overlockers to start with.
Yeah, and I have a love-hate relationship with overlockers. I don't know about you guys, but this one is kind of slowly turning me around.
Has it? And it's got a stop birthday price on it.
It has. We've got a fabulous bundle with it.
So normally it's £399. That's a good price.
Price to start with.
For that machine.
Absolutely, and it's a brilliant machine because what you've
actually
actually
we'll drop the price immediately before we talk about anything else, just so you can see this amazing deal, because I know there's quite a lot of you who have already been interested in this, so we want to get that price drop straight away. We're going to, take £50 off.
Wow.
Let's just take £50 off, £349, plus some gifts.
So you get gifts and a
gifts and
prize.
50 quid.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So what we get in the gift. Now, this, I think, is brilliant because everyone needs a bag, don't they?
Absolutely. And you might not have a dedicated sewing space, so it might not be something that you're wanting to leave out all the time. So, yeah. Nice
Well, I
place
think
to
the
put
thing
it.
is, even if you have, you've probably got your sewing machine out, or one or the other.
Yes,
but
yeah.
not necessarily your overlock unless you've got a big table.
Sure. Or you might take it to classes or workshops, or maybe you're out and about and you're doing alterations and things
I think
like
this
that.
bag's really good, well, because it's got really hard base and it's got feet.
Yes.
But also, it opens like that, so you can...
Do you know what? I love a bag where the zip goes right the way down to the baseline, because you're not kind of trying to squeeze it into that. Sometimes they only go so far, don't they? You kind of trying to shoehorn it in.
If you've got all that threaded up, you don't want to be messing with those threads, do you?
Absolutely.
So it all opens, and it's made specially to fit this. That's the main thing. It's there exactly to fit it.
And it's got a nice solid base. So it's not a cardboard base, it's actually plastic that's in there. So, yeah. So, you know, it's got a solid base, yeah.
It has a nice big pocket, so I guess you can put all your accessories.
Well, this is it, because you are going to get a lot of accessories, lots of different things for the different types of spools you might use on it. As time goes on, you can add to the feet that you've got with your overlocker.
Okay.
It comes with a standard foot to start with, but then you can go in and get kind of feet.
So you've got
like elastic
a big
and stuff
pocket, and then it's got nice big handles.
nice if you're using a trolley as well.
Oh, look at this. This is brilliant. So if you're using a trolley, because I know loads of you, like when you go to workshops or festivals, you can slip that over the thing on the suitcase thingy.
Fall off.
Brilliant. So that comes free, as well as, this is what I love about these free gifts, that there's a point to them, isn't there?
Yeah, there's no point in having something that's like totally useless, is it? But
perfect.
It's a good one.
Madeira overlocker thread.
Beautiful.
So you've got 4 whites, 4 greys and 4 blacks.
There you go. I mean, 4 threads on this one, so absolutely perfect.
And that means when you get it home, you can get it straight out of the box, stick it in its bag, thread it up.
Well, do you know what? You don't even need to thread it up because it comes pre-threaded with
way.
smaller spools anyway.
Really?
So, yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have to have that fear.
Yes.
You can play with it first.
It's always a bit that's a bit worried. Isn't it, that you...
And then it comes with overlocker needles.
Extra needles, yeah. And it does come with needles within the actual accessories anyway, so those are a bit
So
of a
extra.
bonus.
So do overlockers have completely different needles to normal machines?
They
Seeing as
do,
I don't have
yeah,
one?
they do.
Is it the sort of top bit, or is it...
I think it's the actual kind of shaft of them. I'm not entirely sure what the major difference is, but there is a little section in here. This is your instruction guide that comes with it, and it explains that you've got different needles for different purposes. I am the worst for swapping them around. So if you're working with a lightweight fabric, it's best you use those ones, and so on. So it works in a similar sort of scenario. You've got your
so this comes with a
Euro
pack
and your
of
American kind
90,
of sizing on
which
there.
is for
So,
your...
yeah. So it's your heavier weight fabrics, your denims. A lot of people will think, oh, overlocker stretch fabrics, but you can use them for so many different scenarios, and hopefully we'll cover some of those
But
today.
in here you get 2...
So the needles,
3 90-14s and 2 80-12s.
Yeah, you get like a bit of a selection pack. So this is the pack that you actually get within the kind of set. So you've got your different colours, and they've got different colours on the shafts there because that kind of is colour coded, which you can kind of do a bit of research
And then
on.
you get this
and then you get the
packet
extras.
of free.
So they are the weightier ones, the 90s.
So £50 off, £349. You get the needles, you get the 4 spools of thread, and you get the bag. And it's the sort of thing, the bag, is that we don't buy straight off, and then you think, you're going to have to keep it in this box now.
But you know what? And this is me, hand on heart. You could take all of that away, and I would still pay that price on the
Would
store.
you?
Still pay that
Okay.
price.
That is a great price point, isn't it? Because this is a good...
Absolutely.
A good overlocker.
One of the reasons I love it is because literally it's access all areas, so you can open up the front. And that's where part of my nemesis is, because my original overlocker, which is a Husqvarna Viking, fabulous brand, I couldn't have access to the lower loopers. And it's always very difficult to actually get over to this area. Because on mine, this is a closed unit, so you're kind of having to feed it through and pull levers and hope that it kind of went into the right place. But with this, you've just got a little kind of clasp there that you open it up and you can get right into the nitty-gritty, which is good for cleaning, although, yeah, obviously I haven't. But I will at some point. But it just means you can get into there. You've got the drop-down front, which, of course, many overlockers will have. Little kind of section here for your tools to go on board, so they're always close by. And we'll use some of the little things like the stitch fingers, hopefully, during the course of demonstrations with this one. But it's a solid little machine. It's got a safety feature that if that is open, press down on the pedal, nothing will happen.
Oh, I see.
But when you actually close it
goodness
up,
for that.
then you can literally, it will start sewing.
Right, but
sewing
it
out.
won't
So,
when you've got it
Not when
open.
it's open. Got a thread catch rather than a little fabric box. There you've actually got a plastic box, and that will lock in. You've got a little kind of gubbin there which goes in, and then you've got the little hook that goes over the silver bit there, and then that will keep all your threads as you sew. And then it's a case of using it for whatever you need to use it for.
Well, it's great. I mean, I think it's brilliant because I think originally we always thought of overlockers as being used to make T-shirts with.
That's it,
but,
standard.
But they're not. I mean, they're brilliant for, like, finishing the edges of quilts.
Absolutely. Loads of different things. I know people who've actually quilted using an overlocker because you can make a real use of the overcasting edge because you can do, like, decorative things.
Oh, of course,
Which
yeah.
hopefully I'll show you in a few moments. But, yeah, you're quite right. Stretch fabrics, that's the first thing that we think of. And the reason being is it will give. Now, I know I've not used the best of stretch fabric here to show you the black fabric, but you've got your overlocker stitch there, and that will stretch and give. So it's always a useful one
You
for
just
your garment
can't do
making.
a T-shirt without, not properly. I tried it.
And a lot of people will say, oh, my sewing machine's got an overlocker stitch on it. It won't have it. It'll have an overcast. Overlocking is all about cutting the fabrics as well as overcasting it. So a sewing machine will overcast it, but it won't actually cut it. Now, I know there are feet that you can buy that have got a blade on there. I don't know how good they are because it's a case of that Husqvarna Viking don't do one, so I've not really used one. But with an overlocker, it's a bit like buying a tool to do a job and then you know it will do that job well.
No,
it's like,
sometimes it's like only does one job, but does it brilliantly.
Exactly, but you can do with your sewing machine, you can do other things, but it's not designed to just do that job, if that makes sense.
Yes,
So,
no, that does make
sense. So it's almost like a specialist tool. So that's your stretch fabric. But then you can start getting quite creative with it. You could use it for your construction of any garments, to be honest. What will happen is, because it has got four threads, you've got 2 needles, so it will actually do a 2 needle, the 2 needles will do use kind of seams.
So this is like any garment where you don't have any raw edges.
That's it.
You don't have to go down and zigzag.
You don't have to bind anything, you don't have to do zigzags. It could be that that's the right side and you're using a decorative thread to give it a nice feature. But that's your garment construction or your quilt construction if you're wanting to. And you can see there you can alter the stitch length as well. So all the things that you'd normally do with a sewing machine with regards to stitch length and tension you can do as well.
Does this have the thing where it doesn't cut if you don't want it to?
That's right, yeah. You can either move the fabric over or you can kind of just keep it away from the blade. You don't take the blade out completely. I don't think so anyway. I've never done it. I always leave the blade
okay, so
or move your fabric
so it will cut or it won't.
Yes,
you,
right. Up to you. Play around with the threads. So this is a 4-step overlock. I think that's have I done it 4-step or 3 steps? 3.
Oh, I didn't know you could put metallic.
I've put decorative threads on there. So I've put this on my lower looper, which I'll explain all the different loopers to you. So what this has done, that's the way it's stitched through the machine. So obviously if this was the same colour, you wouldn't necessarily see that. But for me, that would be the wrong side anyway, because I would turn that over and that would be a decorative edge, maybe on the edge of the sleeve or something like that.
Well, especially if you've got a really light fabric that you don't want to hem.
There you go. What about a rolled hem? The edge of this has been done with a little rolled hem.
What, and that's on the...
And that has been done on the overlocker this morning while I was in the
Because I thought the overlocker only did these...
No,
these.
No.
Didn't know it did them.
You've got 4 threads, there's loads of different combinations, and I'll show you that in the book in just a second. This is a little bit of organza. I mean, how do you turn up organza without it showing?
Not to hope.
I've used a grey thread there. I probably wouldn't use that in real life, but there you go. It's done a little bit. I mean, how neat is that? I mean, you could get right into it. Beautiful.
For loads of you checking out, so be quick. Well done if you've got yours. We are very limited in stock now. That's amazing.
Isn't it fabulous? And it does it so well.
See, I thought it only did these thingies.
No. Well, in the actual book,
amazing.
And I did. I mean, this is why I'm kind of falling in love with overlockers now, because they can do so much more than just doing your stretch. But it's about playing. It's about giving it some time to understand how it all works and getting your confidence, I suppose. That's the thing. It's the confidence to use it. So these are all different stitch settings that you can do, and you've got kind of like a chart that will tell you what you do need and what you don't
so
need.
like the rolled hem.
Yeah, well, you need to have the right-hand needle in. You need to have the cutting there. So it's literally like a recipe card that will tell you everything that you need. You might find that you just use your favourites. I mean, your 4 thread, that's what mine's always set up to do. And you can alter the kind of the width of how big that kind of loop is there and things. And you can see there you've got your 2 rows of stitching where your needles are. But then you can play around with it. You can take needles out. You can do flat seams with this one. You can do cord. You can do gathered elements as well. 2 thread, 4 thread. It's all within this book to show you how you
It's
can
quite
do all the
nice. It's got
different
about
things.
thread tensions and stitch
Yes,
and all of that. So
yeah.
it actually does tell you the differential feeds.
Well, it's always like you're talking in tongues, isn't it,
I
when
know.
you mention that? But that's all about, it's got 2 sets of feed dogs, and the differential feed is dependent on how you actually operate those. So sometimes you can cause like a gathering in lightweight fabrics to make it as a feature.
Right, so you've got something that will counteract.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can just
The
play
lightweight
around it.
fabrics.
So all of these decorative effects, this is where you can actually be creating your, you could be using your gold
That's
thread
like,
on the
you know, when
top.
you used to have that old Victorian crazy patchwork and
Yes.
they butted the
Yeah.
velvets
Yes,
together and
yeah.
then like, well, they
Yeah.
did it by hand.
Yeah.
But that would look amazing,
Absolutely,
wouldn't
yeah.
it? All those velvet samples
And
you
with
have, you know.
exactly, the differential feed, you can see if you're wanting to add puckering, if you want to do
Oh,
wavering,
wow.
if you want it to gather. So there's loads and loads of different things you can do. So certainly way more than
There's a
just
lot in
your
that,
stretch
isn't it?
fabrics. But let's have a little play with it. Let's
Okay.
start getting some of those
I didn't know
techniques
you could put
done.
metallic thread in. That's really
So when it comes to you, I'll turn it around so as you can see, it's already pre-threaded with your threads. Now I can't remember whether they're all white or whether they are as I've got here, which is the white, and then on my lower looper I've got the grey one there. Top tip from me, when you're actually getting to know your overlocker and how the different threads work and how they behave, change your threads and change them to correspond with the threads.
And you can use normal thread. You don't have
You
to
can,
use
you
big
don't have to-
cones.
no, you don't
can
have
use
to,
little
no. You
normal.
can use your regular 400 or 100 metre spools, not an issue at all. Obviously, if you're doing things like the lower looper, which is kind of doing that almost zigzag style stitch, then you're going to use a lot more.
So that's why, like
That's why you
these
usually
things, so
have a
quite
bigger-
often
bigger
overlocking
top,
threads
yeah.
will have a lot on the
That's
spool.
it. I think, is there 1,000 on each one of those? I'm not too sure. They look like they're probably the 1,000 ones.
You're getting these anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
1,200 metres.
Oh, is it 1,200? Yeah, yeah. So there
Yeah.
you go, yeah. So yeah, so my suggestion would be to just only to do like a little kind of test.
Oh,
piece.
so just to start with.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just use a yellow thread on your needle, a blue thread on your needle, a red thread on your upper looper, and a green thread on your lower looper. And that means that when you play around with those different thread tensions, you'll get a feel for which one affects which part of the stitch.
Right,
Because if it's
right.
all white, then it's not easy to see which thread is
Okay.
which. So we've got this set up for 4 thread. I'm not going to do I can do an overlock just to show you, because what you would often do if you've got just 2 layers of fabric together, it could be denim, it could be whatever you like, you can stitch your seams together. You've got a seam guide, a little attachment on here as well. I don't know the best way to show you this, but this kind of slides in and out. So this will allow you to do things like your imperial and your metric seam allowances. So this is going to allow you to cut off that extra fabric. So what you do need to consider is if you are creating a garment and you're using an overlocker, you just need to stay within your seam allowance, because if you're not careful, you'll end up making it smaller.
Right,
It needs to
okay.
be.
And there is, that guide will show you the
So
seam
that, yeah,
allowance.
so if you're working with a seam allowance, say you've got a half centimetre seam allowance on a garment or whatever size it is, then if you alter that, when you use your cut edge, it will be a case of it will cut off any excess.
Okay.
So you don't have to go back.
Brilliant.
and trim
So
it.
you just set it to the seam allowance you want,
That's
and
it,
then
and
it
off you go.
cuts it off or not.
That's it.
Hi, Hayley. I love my overlocker. I did that with my threads. I had a different colour on each of the spools, and this meant I could see what each thread did from Julie. I think that's a great idea,
Yeah.
Julie, because you can then, when you look at this book and it tells you all these things, you go, oh, so that's that's
Absolutely,
yellow.
yeah.
Because otherwise, how do you know? And I guess once you've done that a few times,
That's it.
you know what
just
you're
get to
doing.
know, and then you say, oh, right, I understand. So if it's not behaving on a particular fabric or a garment that you're working with, then, yeah, you can alter it. Now, depends on how you want to cut your threads. You can either use the blade, that's kind of the way that they do it in the factories, or you have got a little thread cutter on the side there, so you can take your threads and just cut them through there if you're wanting to as well. But I've just taken that fabric there. The lower loopers are the grey, so that's the one that's going to wrap around, but then you can just do a little seam, as you would do normally, and there you go. That could be a garment that I'm making, so very simple.
Well, you know what, it's just so much easier, isn't it? Because all the edges are bound, and even when you're using cotton fabric, you know, it's still phrased, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
When I have my quilts long arm quilted, because I don't like quilting by machine. Well, no, I don't mind. I prefer to have them sent off. They always come back with all their edges overlocked.
Yes, it's
and it
very
makes
neat
it so
finish.
much easier to bind it.
Well, this is it. And also, you will have
So much
fabric.
easier.
We'll all have fabrics that we might do bag making with. You might not make
Yeah.
your bag on your overlocker, but if you've got a fabric that's fraying like this, by the time you actually come to use it, it's probably half the size that it was
Well,
when you
especially when you've got to
started.
like turn it inside out and
Absolutely,
stuff.
yeah. So again, you can just literally take it to the edge, and it will neaten that off. Just gives it a neat
Well, whenever
edge.
we have like our dressmakers on here, like, you know, Adam and Rebecca, they always, they come in with their pattern pieces, don't they? All overlock.
Overlock to start with.
That's amazing.
And it just means any of those troublesome fabrics that you've got where there's a high amount of kind of fraying or disintegrating like that, then just neaten them up. Quite often I'll do this when I bring a fabric in that's a new fabric that's a troublesome fabric, as I like to call
somebody
them.
messaged in once, I don't know because I haven't got one of these, and said when they pre-wash their fabric, which obviously you have to do for dressmaking, one of the things that I hate doing about that is you then get out of the machine and there's all these ends.
Bits,
But
yeah.
they say they overlock it first.
Good
Never
idea.
thought of that.
Yeah.
And then when you wash it, you don't get all those, because normally you've got like a whole bird's nest,
That's
haven't
it.
you?
And it tensions your fabric as it goes through, so if it is a delicate fabric, it's not going to stretch or warp. So, yeah.
How does it do that then?
Well, because it's kind of putting a boundary around it. So
Right.
anything that's within that
If I
boundary won't...
zigzagged that,
Yeah.
it would stretch a bit.
Well, this is it, but you've kind of got straight stitches that are stopping the stretch, if that makes sense as well.
Because that is like it's perfect.
Takes on board the fabric. So that's what I will do quite often, just as a routine thing. So that's not the most exciting of demonstrations, is it?
No, that is no. Well, it is because that's what you're using it
Well,
day in, day out
practical,
with.
isn't it? So let's play around with the
Right, we're on
machine.
single figures now of this machine. Remember, the machine has got £50 off, and you get with it for free the special bag. No extra cost, with feet and a very solid bottom.
Love a solid bottom.
We love a solid bottom. And it comes with a pocket to put all your accessories in. You also get 12 spools of overlocking thread and a pack of overlocking needles. All for free and £50 off. And we're on single figures, so you need to be quick.
Now, within the actual guide, it gives you all the kind of whys and wherefores of the different kind of components that you need to form your stitches. So I'm going to look at now at a three-thread overlock stitch, and this is narrow. So what's happened on this one, if you can compare it with the two here, you've got 2 rows of straight stitching on that one. On this one, we've got a single row. Now, you might be tempted to take the thread out and just leave the needle in there. Don't do that because it will make holes in your fabric to start with.
Oh, of course, because it'll be needling with...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the needle actually going down into the base of your overlocker, the threads will wrap round it. So even though you've not got a thread in there, it will still wrap around it.
Oh.
You need to take the needle out completely, which you might think, oh my goodness, that's terrifying.
And when would you use a 3-thread and when would you use a 4-thread?
Sometimes it could be that you wanted a narrower seam.
Oh, okay.
It can be, there's a variety of different reasons for you using them. Also, as well, it will talk about the stitch finger, which I'll explain to you in just a second as well.
Finger.
These are all words.
I know, what does that
But
mean?
when you look at an overlock, you're like, oh, there's too much words,
What
too
is a
conversation.
stitch finger?
But I'll show you. So first thing we're going to do is take the needle out. So you've got 2 needles on this one, and it will say, does it say A and B? It usually says A and B, can't remember. Oh, left and right. So you can kind of see the thread is in the way a little bit at the moment. So I'm going to raise the foot up because that will release the tension straight away. And I can take the thread out if I need to. What I will actually do is cut the thread and do it that way because it's probably easier to do it that way around. Just get a pair of scissors, snip that off, and then I can actually pull that thread through. Now, what I will do is I will actually take the needle out. So the little tiny screws, can you see those little tiny screws in the top there? The top one, that one is for your left needle, and that one is on the right. So how do I know which one I need to leave in, which one I need to take out? I look at the book. You can't remember everything. You can't be expected to remember everything.
Right, okay.
So you just follow the guide. So
But
I'm
that's
taking
just
that
like
out.
undoing the screw to change a foot on a sewing machine, isn't
Absolutely,
it?
absolutely.
It's not like small parts.
You get a nice little screwdriver, and that is kept in the tool compartment that opens up on the front of the machine. So just keep that specifically for this because it is a little bit smaller. Those little screws there are quite tiny, and that will allow your needle to come out. And then what I do is I pull the thread through that, and then I take that needle, and so as I remember, where it is, that it's an overlocker. I take it up to the top where my threads are, and I just pop it in the top of the spool there. So keep it safe in there.
Oh, okay, so you know.
So when I need to come back to it, it's there. I can just pop it straight back
Genius.
in. Also, as well, any loose thread there, you just pull that through because you don't want to get that caught up, and that can just go in your bin.
That's a great place, because otherwise, where would you keep that?
That's it, yeah. And you might look at it and from first sight not know that it's an overlocker or
Of
not.
course, yes, that's the other issue, isn't
Put
it?
your little screwdriver back in the little home for it and the front cover there, so as you know it's, yeah, you don't want to lose it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change the stitch finger. Now, stitch finger is one of these little gadgets here, so the screwdriver will help you actually get it out of the little kind of holder that you've got in here as well. If I have it facing me, it's a lot easier. Pull that out, and you've got like a little foam cushion in there where it will keep in. So the stitch finger creates the loops. So the loops that kind of go around your fabric, it's almost, it will be there, and the threads wrap around it.
Oh, so that's how, right, okay.
So that is your stitch finger. On this one, it will say B, upside down, it will say B. And in the book, it tells me, stitch finger, I need B. Now, your machine will automatically come with A installed because it will be set up for 4 thread. So that will be in there. And the only thing that you need to do is open up the front, which is very, very easy. And the stitch finger sits in this little bit here. So, can you see that there?
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously it's kind of in a
Is it
profile.
bigger, the 4?
It is. So when you just pull it, and there's a little tiny kind of slot in there where it goes into. So that kind of goes in that way, and the stitch finger sticks out. So that one is A, okay?
I see.
And we've got B. So if I compare the two, one is a little bit wider than the other one.
Because of the loops are bigger on
That's
a
it, yeah.
4
So
thread.
they're not easy to kind of hold and show you, but hopefully you'll be able to see with those two. You kind of got one that's slightly thinner than the other. So which way round are the B? We're going to keep the B, and we're going to pop the A, and that can go back into our little holder there. In fact, I'm just going to leave it on the side for now, and I'll tidy it up in a minute. So that now is going to slot in where this other one came from. So it's a bit tricky to see because it's quite a dark area, but just if you look at where the kind of the stitch plate is, just before the gap that you've got a kind of sticky out bit, and it goes in there. So it's kind of in that little area there. It's quite dark, but that will slide in there, and just literally just push it in, like so. It shows you in the book as well. So it's really easy. That will go in like that. She says really easy, but it's a bit of a caggy angle to do it at. There you go. So it goes like that, and you just literally will push that in.
Okay.
And it will sit in
It's
that.
only like changing the foot or something.
Exactly, exactly.
Right.
So now we're all set up for that 3-step. Okay, so that's all good. We've got our 3 threads. I want to change that last one though. I want to use something quite different.
Yeah, okay.
So this is a thread that I wouldn't even think of using on a sewing machine.
No.
It could be a thin ribbon. There's a variety of different things.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
can
that
use.
is like a hand embroidery thread, isn't it?
But that's the one that I used for
I know,
the
but
piece that
that's
we saw there. So
amazing.
just to show you, just in case it all goes wrong.
I know,
what
but you
would
wouldn't
happen.
think of that, would
No,
you?
no.
Amazing.
And we've all got these. It's a bit like a crochet thread, isn't it? So yeah. So what that's going to do is that's going to sit on the 4th spool, so the furthest to the side, and that one is what's called your lower looper. So I'm going to cut that.
So that's like the main thread. Or
That's the one that does the most stitching, if you will, almost like the zigzag effect. That's the only way I can kind of describe
so, and that will be stitching underneath.
So that'll be on the
right,
underside.
You need it right side down.
That's it.
You see what I mean? Okay.
So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open up the machine, and I'm going to pull the threads through, if I can get hold of the threads that are on there at the moment. Pull that, so if you raise it up, you will be able to pull the threads through. Now, when it comes to actually working with your machine, quite often people will tie their threads on and pull it through, but I'm going to show you, because, as I say, I love this machine now, I don't hate it, I'm going to show you how you can actually thread it up. So I'm just going to get rid of that thread there. So that is the one that's following the green channel, and the reason I know it's the green channel is because we started off with a green dial. So I'm going to take the thread. It's quite a whippy thread, and by that, metallic threads are often quite whippy. So you've got these kind of little net bags. You might have some of these with your embroidery machine as well. And
I've got someone with my sewing machine. I've never known what they're for.
Okay, well,
I just keep them in the accessories
let
box.
me show you, because the idea is quite often, especially with metallic threads, because there's a core thread that's got a metal thread that's wrapped around it, so it can be quite springy. So what can happen is when it comes off, it kind of has it's a bit like having a curly hair day. It just goes crazy.
Never had one of those.
Have you not? Oh,
no.
okay.
I always have a straight hair
Do
day.
you?
Not a hope.
Lovely. Oh, that was
I'd
so
love
easy,
to have a curly hair day.
Isn't it funny how you always want it to be the
Oh,
opposite
I'd
of what you
love
are?
that.
Yeah. Now you cut these. You can cut them. You don't have to cut them if you don't want to. But I tend to cut them down. So I cut them to the size of the spool that I'm working with. And then this is like a little jacket. Think of it being a bit like a funnel. So it's going to direct that thread. So you pass your thread through. In fact, which depends on which way you do. I'm probably making it look way more complicated than it actually is. You put a little jacket, so you put the tube around your thread, like so, and you pull your thread through. So when your thread comes off it, rather than it whipping round,
so it kind of slows it down, but it's not tight to hold it.
Yeah. So that's restricting it now. It's almost like it's going through a funnel, if you will.
Yeah, that makes
sense. So I'm just going to thread it up.
How did you know this thread worked? Did you just play with them all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen it. And research, go onto the internet. Go
It's
onto
so
YouTube.
thick, isn't it? I mean, I think it's amazing.
And not all threads would work with it, and not all stitches would work with it. So it kind of depends on what it is you're actually doing. So when it comes to threading up, you do exactly the same as your sewing machine. Make sure that the foot is raised to open up the tension discs, and then you can get your thread through. And then just follow that green little kind of path, shall we say. So it's going to go round the little kind of hook that you've got there, comes down to the bottom and through that one. So anywhere where there's a little green dot, and I'll show you this in just a second, I can move that and I can go through that little hook there. And then the last one that it needs to do is to go through the hook that is at the top. Now, what I tend to do is I unthread the needle because they have to kind of interconnect in a correct way. So I often find that taking the needle thread out first is an easy way for me to get clearance, and then they all kind of come together in the right formulation.
Right, okay.
They wrap round the right way. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the needle up, pop my glasses on, because obviously no overlocker will work without your glasses.
No, it won't. It's one of those rules.
Absolutely. Pull that thread, and I'm just going to pull the thread through and out of the needle, so I've got clearance with that one. And any of those other threads I'm just going to pull out of the way. There's a little bit of grey thread there as well, so I'm going to pull that. I'm going to leave the upper looper as it is. And again, I know I'm referencing what they're actually called, and it might be complete jargon, but it will all become obvious as time goes on. Just going to twist the ends of those threads to get them through the little hole. And once I've done this, I'll let you have a little closer look, because it's not an easy one to show you while I'm threading it up. But then hopefully...
But I guess it's one of those things, a bit like any machine, isn't it? When you're threading it up, first you've got to keep going the manual and go, oh, how do you do that? And then eventually it's just like...
second nature, isn't it? Yeah.
You just do it straight away.
And it is...
David says, yes, the overlocker blade moves out of the way so it will not cut the fabric.
Oh, there you go.
David.
That's,
Thank you very much, David.
That's for Scavana David, otherwise known as my fiancé.
Oh, otherwise, yes, for Scavana David. That's handy. Well, thank you very much, David, for the clarification.
I've never moved it out of the way, I must admit. It's one of those things that I suppose I should have done, but because I always cut the threads off, then I just don't bother. Now, this is typical. It's not wanting to feed through because it's kind of...
Well, it's because it's fancy thread, isn't it?
It's because I'm doing it on...
But it's good to know that, because I think for people like me who don't have an overlock, I'd want to know, can I use it without cutting it? Can I use it with cutting it? Can I use it for that special hem thing?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. And I can use a different...
It's a great price as well. I mean, I know, you know, there's different prices for different machines, different overlockers, whatever, but I think because you get the £50 saving, and that bag, that's a winner for me.
It's
love the bag.
isn't it?
But I think having the thread as well, isn't it? You know, you've got all the basic colours, because obviously you're going to move on from it, and you're going to put all your fancy threads, and you'll have purple and orange, and who knows
all sorts of combinations. Get really fancy.
Part of using a machine for the first time is having everything. Otherwise, it sits in that box. When I got my first posh machine, sat in the box for over a week.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I know how to use it, then I'll leave it there.
It does happen.
And I think, like you say, that once you start using this, you might think, well, I'm going to use it because I'm going to hem some T-shirts. But before you know what you're doing, you're like, oh, binding
Oh,
the
it
edge
can
of
do
a
this, it
quilt.
can do that. And that's what I was fine with this. Just have a play with it. Set aside some time, which that's the easy thing to say, isn't it? Set aside some time. But just familiarise yourself with it. And who was it who messaged in to said they played around with the colours of the colours of
Yes,
the
that was just after
that's a
you'd
good
mentioned
way.
it. I definitely would. I mean, it will come pre-threaded, so have a sew with it. But then when you re-thread it,
yeah, as you gain your confidence.
Put the colours in.
Absolutely. There are some tweezers in there, so yeah, again, get your tweezers in there to thread up the needle as well. Overlockers don't tend to come with needle threaders, I don't believe, or they might do, I don't know.
I've never seen one.
Certainly within this price
I've not
kind of
seen
bracket,
them
you
with
wouldn't
that.
get a needle thredder on there. So everything
save
online is
yourself £50. Now, we have only got 7 of these left.
Wow.
And way more than that in basket. So if you want this one, when they're gone, because this is a special deal. It's a £50 off deal to celebrate Scott's birthday, and it's a special bag, thread, and needle deal as well. Don't worry, Hayley.
Well, it's always the way. Always the way.
Always the way
Always
when
the
you're
way.
on air, obviously.
Absolutely.
Shall we talk, because we're running out of time now, should we talk about the sewing machine
Yeah,
function?
why not?
Do check out on that Overlocker, because we are very low in numbers now. Honestly, this is it's a lovely thing.
And as I say, when you've actually threaded it up, when you kind of work your way through them, you will be able to do things like those gorgeous overcast threads. So there you go, changing the threads over. If you're using a thinner thread, obviously it's easier for you to actually put through and all that kind of thing.
But that's
you'll
kind
have
of
the
next
luxury
level.
of
But at
time.
least it's possible, isn't it?
Well, this is the thing, you know it can happen. So you know you can add your decorative edges, you know you can do your rolled hems, and everything that you need is on it. So you don't have to worry about that.
So, now, if you were with Hayley and I at 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
It was 10 o'clock.
We were talking about the Husqvarna sewing machine embroidery machine combo. And we did concentrate a lot on the embroidery section, because I know a lot of you like that. But I wanted to have a chat about the sewing machine section, because it's a very high-end embroidery machine, but it's also a very high-end sewing machine.
It is, yeah.
And I know, you know, if you want just an embroidery machine, you're not going to get the sewing machine function as well. But this is for someone who's considering they want both. They need to replace the sewing machine, but would like to do machine embroidery as well.
That's it. So at the moment, this is how it comes to you. So you can see it on the screen there. You've got all the accessories that.
It's just a standard sewing machine.
Well, I'd like to say it's way more than a standard.
Well, the look of it.
But when you say yes.
Yeah, the look of it.
You're looking at your regular sewing. Yes,
It's not. It hasn't got the embroidery bit on it. It looks like a standard sewing machine.
So when it comes to you've got your accessory box, which you would normally get with your sewing machine. That will slide off, so you can take that off completely, and that gives you that free arm. So if you wanted to do things like your cuffs or any smaller areas, then you can actually do that quite easily. Also, as well as I turn it round, you can drop the feed dog. So if you want to do a bit of free motion work, you can do. But of course, the Billy bonus that we've got is that you're actually going to get the extension table.
Well, so part of the deal with this is there's a
Yes.
free gift worth over £370.
Well, this is it, and part of that gift is the extension table. The only way you can get hold of this at the moment is within the bundle here. So, yeah, it will be something that, as time goes on, will be available for everybody to get hold of. You've got 4 little legs on there that lock into place. They fold flat, so if you do need to take it in a bag or anything, you can do that quite easily. And then these are adjustable. They've got little screw feet, little rubber feet. So if you haven't got a table that's kind of solid, then you can play around with those and they will kind of balance out. And all that happens with that is that goes on where the accessory box was. So you pull that on and you kind of play around with it to kind of get it to sneak into place. Alter those feet so it's nice and stable, and then that opens up that sewing area. So if you are looking at things like quilting, garments, that kind of thing, you've got a good surface area to work with. But again, you can go back to just doing your free arm if you do need to. The actual sewing machine itself has got a touch screen. And the touch screen...
It's a nice big screen as well.
It's huge. Well, if you consider a mobile phone, it's kind of halfway between a small tablet and a large phone. And this is what you would actually use in the earlier show. We were showing you choosing your embroidery designs. You use the same screen to actually get your sewing stitches up. So your sewing stitches are already built in, and they're in little menus. So you'll see that you've almost got like little tabs going across the top. It's all explained in the book, so you don't have to worry, it's all there.
So it's got all the standards sewing machine
It has,
stitches.
yeah. So you've got your straight stitch, you've
Yeah.
automatically got your 1/4 inch, whether it's to the left or to the right. You've got things like your triple stitch in there, your zigzag. They're all in there, your overcast stitch. You've got a little button there, which is your arrow. You should really use your stylus when you're touching the screen, but sometimes it's a bit of a funny angle. So that will allow you to go through all the different stitches. By pressing on that, it will take you through all the different
nice. So
selections.
it's got the overcasting stitches.
That's
It's
it.
got buttonholes.
Got buttonholes and all sorts in there, satin stitches. You've got your little tabs at the top, so your decorative stitches are under tab 2. So when you go into tab 2, that starts off with your satin stitches. You've got all of these, and all of these you can play around with the length, you can play around with combinations. So there's a lot that you can do with those very, very easily. You've also got a little section there for your buttonholes.
Wow. Oh, even a button stitching
So
on
even
foot.
to stitch your buttons on in place as well, they are all in there. And it does come with a buttonhole foot, which means you can pop your button in there and it will measure.
Oh, I think that's
for you,
genius.
so
I
you
love
don't have
that.
to worry, that's already
You don't
in
have to
there.
work. You just put your button in and
it does it for you.
Clever.
If you've got larger buttons, though, you can still do them manually, so don't worry,
Right.
you can still get around those. We've also got some text, or fonts, should I say, in here. So you've got 4 different alphabets in here. I think one of them is Cyrillic, I think, which is kind of like the kind of standard. It might be a Russian form, I'm not sure. It's kind of like a standard one. And this is where you would literally you'd select whichever of the alphabets you wanted to go for, and then you would key in whatever it is that you're wanting to say, and it would stitch that out.
Brilliant.
That's useful for things like your quilt labels.
Yes. So you've got standard stitches, decorative stitches, buttonhole stitches.
That's it, yeah. So you've got your text there as
stitches.
well. And that is a useful one for labels, going in clothes. You can personalise with that, but personally, if I'm personalising something, I like to use the fonts that you can embroider.
Well, the thing is, because this is an embroidery machine and it's a sewing machine, you know, you're probably going to use the embroidery machine because it's only a case of sliding one bit off and putting the other. I'd use the embroidery fonts.
Well, exactly.
What does it come with as far as feet?
So feet-wise, it comes with your standards. So it comes with the universal foot, which is an A foot. It will come with your embroidery foot.
Oh, free motion,
yeah,
nice.
free motion and embroidery. That's the one that we'll use. I'm actually holding it upside down, which isn't very good, is it? So it's a solid foot. I mean, it's all metal construction with that one. Comes with the usual things that you'd expect, replacement needles and things like that.
Right.
You've got your D foot as well. So that one is in there. That one's your joining foot. Oh, no, it's not, sorry. The D foot is for your, is that your blind hand foot? I can't remember now. You've got your joining foot as well, so if you do want to take things like your wadding and actually create your larger pieces of wadding from your scraps, it comes with a zipper foot, comes with a little kind of non-stick foot,
that's a
aka
good one, that one.
Teflon foot that's in there as well. Your zipper foot for your piping. You can get additional feet as time goes on if you're wanting to. So
when I had my Husqvarna, I had all sorts. Invisible zip foot, very niche, but loved it. Roller foot, loved that. I had all the feet. I bought a walking foot for it.
Universal.
I had real niche feet for mine.
One of the things I also love about this as well, you can kind of do a decorative stitch, which can be a combination stitch. So the last tab that we've got is where you're going to choose your stitches and put your stitches into the machine. So we're going to select the number 5, and this is where you're making your own stitch combination. So you can click on this little button at the top there, and that means that you can change the different stitches that you're going to bring into it. So it might be if I go into the decorative stitches, let's work our way through. I like that little scallop, so let's have a scallop. I'll have that one going that way. But what about if I want to have a scallop coming the other way? Well, let me put another scallop in, but let's flip that one so it's going in the opposite direction. What about if I want to add in a little flower or something like that? Well, I can work my way through and find different stitches that I'm wanting to use and actually add those in. I might like there you go, let's add that little combination in there. So I've got little flowers.
This is a great machine, though, because this sort of end of the sewing machine is almost sort of overlapping with the embroidery machine, isn't it?
Well, this is it.
There's so many different things you can do with this, but then because you've got that embroidery function, it takes it even further.
And it might be that you want to put a decorative element around the hem of a garment and it won't fit in the hoop of an embroidery machine. So we've put together a bit of a weird combination there. So let's see what that looks like when it stitches out.
It's got a thread cutter.
It has got thread cutter, yeah, automatic.
And
thread
automatic
cutter.
needle threader.
It has. So there's loads of different ways you can kind of play around and get the settings to exactly what you want. I've turned off the beep because the beep drives me mad. But if you want to have it so as it kind of makes that little beeping noise as you press each of the buttons, then you can do.
Oh, I see.
So there's loads of
But
different
you can
ways.
turn the beep
You can
off.
turn the beep
Right.
off if it's driving you crazy. So let's put a little bit of fabric in. Let's fold it that way so we can get a nice long run of it. So I'm going to pop that one underneath. You've also got a sewing advisor which helps you with regards to which feet and which needles you use for different stitches. But I don't know what I've done with that, it's disappeared. So let's just press go. Now you can either use the button if you don't want to use the pedal. If dexterity or using your feet is an issue, then you can use either or. I've got the pedal, so I'm just going to pop that down. And I've just realised I haven't got a thread. Haven't threaded up with thread. So let me just do that to start with, because I think it came out when we were at the end of the embroidery show.
It did, yes.
I thought I'd put it back in, but I haven't. So
if you've got this machine in your basket, you need to get it checked out. I mean, it's a brilliant machine. I love the Husqvarna machines. They're very intuitive.
Yes, yeah.
Quite easy, really easy to sort of work and to understand. And I think what they've done with this machine is they haven't compromised on the quality of the sewing machine or the embroidery machine. And you're getting a lot of extras with this. So not only, it's on 5-way split pay, and the 5-way split pay, so if you want to spread the cost, the first instalment is less than the value of the free items that you're getting. So for £239.80, you can have this home straight away. You pay the money, and in a few days' time, you will have it sent to you. Now, I know if you've been in and out today, you might have popped in and watched Hayley at 10. You come back. This is the same machine that we was talking about at 10. It's just at 10, Hayley concentrated on the embroidery side, and then now she's concentrated on the sewing machine side, because it is fantastic in both ways. You're getting 2 embroidery hoops, you get the extension table, you get the 3 rolls of stabiliser, tear away, wash away and cut away.
Yes.
You get the big, beautiful box of Madeira rayon threads, the applique scissors, and a pack of 4 sewing machine needles. It's amazing. That bundle is worth over £370. And you can take this away today. If you pay that now, £239.80, it will be shipped straight to you. And then obviously over the next 4 months you pay the others. What's happened?
I'm looking at the bee foot. And the
bee
foot
foot
is missing from this particular machine.
no. The bee
I don't know
foot.
why it's not in there. The bee foot has got a groove underneath it because some of the stitches on this one are a kind of a decorative stitch with a lot of kind of stitch density. Let me put a little bit of stabiliser behind it. That might help with that one instead. I don't know why it's not in there.
Oh, well, because it's probably fallen out of the bag.
Yes, typical if it has.
That happens
Probably
to
on my
mine.
living
Or,
room
do you know, I find
carpet.
them later.
Yes. Now, I put a little bit of stabiliser under there, so that might help with it, because it kind of like raises it a little bit, gives it a bit more substance. So, basically what's happening now, it's working its way through that stitch that we created. So the combination that I made earlier on the screen, it's working its way through. We've got a loose tail there, which I didn't notice, so there's stitching as well. So I should have taken that out of the way. Let's get that one. Will it move out of the way? There we go. It's very easy when you're at home, isn't it? Now, it's got to the end of the combination now, so let's just, it stopped.
Yeah, so if you want to put this like down the centre of a bag strap or around the hem or something.
Yeah. So it started off again doing the repeats. So it's working its way through that. It's just doing one combination of it at the moment. But literally, the stitch that we designed, so the combination of the different stitches that are found in the menu, it's now put those together in whatever combination I like. And that's the beauty of this. You've got complete control with whatever it is that you're wanting to create. So that's working its way through now.
So you can choose and you can then set that. That's fabulous, isn't it?
Thread's broken. I've got a rayon thread in there, which
Doesn't
isn't
like
the
your
best for
rayon
doing that.
thread,
So yeah, not when it's not embroidering. But there you go. It kind of gives you an idea. So
Yeah,
you can
embroidered
see-
beautifully.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it's because I've actually got it as a sewing machine now, rather than, yeah. And the rayon threads aren't brilliant when it comes to decorative stitches, but you can see there. There you go.
That's fabulous.
Okay.
So, I mean, and what's great is that you can sort of go to the edge of the embroidery with this and think, no, actually, I want a big design, I want a big thing. Now and all you do is slip off and put the embroidery section on. It's
That's
a
it.
really simple swap,
Move
isn't
that
it?
out of the way. So what I will do is
Amazing.
I've not got the right foot on it to do embroidery, but let's show you what happens when you want to turn it into an embroidery machine. So this is the embroidery unit. So this is where the hoops attach. So all I would do is I would take the extension table off in the same way as I popped the accessory box off. I will pop this in place. Obviously, we're going into embroidery mode, so we would change the foot over from the standard foot. But you'll see there, the screen will change.
That, isn't it?
There you go. Screen will change. I've got to raise the foot there. It will calibrate the unit, so it's kind of doing all its measurements and getting it into its right position.
But you haven't got to do anything fancy, so suddenly your sewing machine is an embroidery machine.
That's it, as quick
It's
as
magic.
that. Yeah.
Amazing. So the price for this is £1199. You are getting over £370 worth of equipment. You will get the extension table. It's the only way you can get hold of that.
That's it. Only way you can get hold of it.
Which is amazing, isn't it? You get the 3 rolls of stabilise that are used for this.
That's it. So I've used the wash away to make that kind of like lace-like effect that we did
And it's
earlier
proper
on.
Husqvarna branded stabiliser as well.
That's it, yeah.
You know, and I think to start with, use the brand.
Absolutely.
If you then want to move on to other things, but to start with, use the brand.
Yeah.
Use the brand. It comes with the needles.
It does. Comes with the needles.
And
Another feature which I must mention, which I forget to mention, if for any reason your embroidery stops, say you have a power cut,
yes,
or you accidentally knock the switch or the cable so it turns itself off, it will remember where you were in your design.
That's genius.
So you come straight back to it.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd never
know
get
which
there.
stitch you
That's
were at.
amazing, isn't it? That's been brilliant. Thank you so much
No problem
for showing
at
us
all.
all. We need to just talk about our notebooks
That's
before
all
we
right.
go,
Let me
because
move
we
this
need
out
to
of the
take
way.
these with us.
Give you a little bit of space.
Please don't forget to check out on the sewing machine and the overlocker. We are in single figures now for each. Both of them you're going to be saving money on, so do check out on these. The Aqua is the most popular. Now, these have been made specially for Sewing Street. Special price, half price, because it's Scott's birthday. Beautiful moleskin feel books. Yours won't have my name in the front of it. You put the date on. It's got a matching pen, which is labelled Sewing Street as well. Then we have the pale blue one and the navy. They're all below you. So coming up on Sewing Street tomorrow is John Scott is presenting. 8 o'clock he'll be presenting Good Friday deals. At 9 o'clock Alistair MacDonald will be with him with some of his amazing patterns and fabrics. At 10 o'clock Hayley Smith from Craft Yourself Silly will be with him. And 11 o'clock back with Alistair from House of Alistair, and Hayley Smith will be with him at 12. I hope you have a lovely Maundy Thursday and a wonderful Good Friday and plenty of eggs on Easter Sunday. And I will see you back here on Sewing Street next week.
Sewing Street's designer block competition is back. Use the fabric on our bespoke panel to make your very own quilt block masterpiece. 12 lucky winners will be announced on Friday the 20th of June. Each winner will receive a £100 credit to your Sewing Street account. Your block will be proudly exhibited at the Festival of Quilts 2025. Sewing Street's designer block competition.